My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
It's here. All you need to do is look into your heart. It's here. All you wanna know is waiting deep inside. And remember, now and forever, infinite love is always true. It's here. Look upon the stars and you'll be surprised. It's here. Envision cloud and sky and how it feels to fly. And remember, now and forever, infinite love is you. Imagine all your dreams came true. Onpassive is the way for you. No need to worry, you are free with infinite love. You live in prosperity. It's here. All you need to do is listen, feel, and hear. It's here. Like moonlight river flowing calm into your soul. And remember, now and forever, infinite love will make you know blessing is here. Imagine all your dreams came true. Onpassive is the way for you. No need to worry, you are free with infinite love. You live in prosperity. With infinite love, you live in prosperity. With love BioBless, you live in prosperity.
That negative YouTube channel has got more founders on it than I do on my own YouTube channel. And it breaks my heart.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing tonight? I hope that you're all doing very, very, very well. I always giggle at that song for that last line. It sounds like the song is over, and then they sing that extra line about "Oh bless," just out of nowhere, and it doesn't feel like part of the song. And every time I hear it, every time it gets to that part, I can't help but laugh. I hope that you're all having a fabulous, fabulous Valentine's Day. If you celebrate it, I know there's a lot of people out there that do not celebrate it. My daughter does the whole Valentine's Day thing at school where they all pass out the cards to each other. So she did that today, and then we went swimming after school. It was a fun time. We have Louisiana here. I hope that you are doing well, my dear. We have Sherry here. Joe is here. But Joe, I know that you'll probably have to leave a bit early because you work in the morning, probably. Let me know. And also, guys, do remember that the Google mods, Joe's trained me well, see? Do remember that the Google mods will be present. So try to keep swearing to a minimum. Although I do have to say, most of the people that comment during these streams, you all can do just fine without the swear words. You don't really need them. When you know how to do witty comments, swears don't come up much. So I'm never that worried. But just don't yell at me. If your comments aren't showing up on my channel, go yell at the people that report my channel. It's their fault, not mine. I don't even control my own comment section anymore. So, who else we got? Albs just showed up. Hello, good to see you. We have Ellen here. Hello, I hope you're doing well. Oh, you're still off work. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, it's nice to be off work in a way because you work your ass off all the time, right? But then it's for healing, which is never a fun thing to do. So I hope that you are doing better, Joe. My husband's waiting for a back surgery. So I've been listening to, the recovering Hunbot talking about hers and just like, oh no, this is what we're going to be going through soon. Hello, Rob. Good to see you. So today I wanted to go through this stream was supposed to be Monday, but my Monday ended up crazy and I was exhausted. So we're doing it tonight instead. And since you guys really wanted me to react to the whole thing about Chris being in the hospital recently and streaming, I thought it would be a really good time to also just kind of take a moment and talk about time freedom. And what is time freedom? And time freedom in relation to multi-level marketing, network marketing, MLMs, blah, 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 whatever you want to call your company, your fake affiliate program that we all know is an MLM as well. Yeah, I'm talking to you, modern alternative mama with your earthly wellness, whatever, because, it's kind of a new term. And then we're going to be reacting to basically the whole thing of Chris having to stream from the hospital. Did he have to? Did he feel obligated to? Let's just take a moment and talk about it. Yes, I have made a whole presentation. This is a very famous quote by Steve Jobs that is actually often used by these companies and kind of used. I don't know if he's a good example when you're in an MLM. He didn't run an MLM. And I thought it would be a good one to use because we all know how much Ash loves, all these people. So he says, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. I'm very big on intuition. Always follow your intuition. Your heart, take your brain with you. Follow your intuition, though. And oftentimes when MLMs post this, right, it's to be posted along the lines of if you have people in your life telling you that we're a scam, then don't listen to them. Live your own path and stay in the MLM. And I just find it interesting because I don't think that's what he was talking about. But I guess quotes can be up for interpretation, right? So what is time freedom? I know. I go deep here. So Collins Dictionary defines time as the continuous passage of existence and freedom as a state of allowing you to do whatever you want to do, right? Like you have no obligations to anything. You have no loyalties to anyone. Technically, freedom is doing whatever you want, right? Freedom, time freedom, is the ability to choose how you spend your time. It typically means that you have the time to do what you need or want to do without constraints imposed by external forces. In a personal sense, and especially when it comes to like MLMs and stuff, right? It might mean that you can attend your children's activities or have enough time to recharge. In the MLM industry, time freedom allegedly holds the same definition. However, being in an MLM never equates to having more time to do what you need or want to do. Shut up, Alps. Alps says Collins Dictionary, what? You misspelled Webster. let's explore for a moment what time freedom means in the MLM industry, and more specifically in the Onpassive MLM cult. I am going to be using the word cult a lot now with Onpassive. I highly recommend that everyone else do the same. Please do consider this to be a cult of personality around Ash. I have a whole stream where we actually really dive into why it is one. If you have an issue with something I said in it and you don't think I have enough proof, feel free to make your own video combating that. That would be fun. But I do believe Onpassive to be a cult of personality around Ash. And so going forward, I will always be calling it a cult. I would really like that word to be a regular word used along with Onpassive, you know? So let's talk about the term time freedom, because it's kind of a relatively new term, right? Like it's not it's not a term that's been used since like the 50s or something. It's Ash Wednesday, as Red said today. Yep. Yes, it is. So basically, in 2020, Tina, Truth in Advertising, which we love that website over here, they released an article that was entitled, "Time Freedom is the New Financial Freedom." In that article, they state that at the time, there were more than 860,000 posts on Instagram that bore the hashtag time freedom. And in an investigation into North Carolina-based MLM Market America, boy, that's a crappy one, which they also did in 2020. They did that investigation in 2020. Tina.org cataloged more than 250 marketing materials published by the company in just 9 months that used the hashtag time freedom. And see, in 2020, this was a relatively new term being used by hustle culture. Not just like people that are in MLMs, like all of hustle culture kind of jumped on the bandwagon for this term, right? So the use of the term time freedom seemed to have skyrocketed, and the article from Tina states, maybe it's because financial freedom, a term used across the industry for years to advertise the MLM business opportunity, was starting to get a bad rep. Mentions in numerous Tina.org investigations and FTC, Federal Trade Commission, enforcement actions, as well as in recent guidance from the Direct Selling Self-Regulatory Council, specifically designating the term financial freedom as a deceptive income claim. Technically, you're not supposed to say that your business offers time freedom. It's Ash's holiday. Yeah, if they said that today was Ash's holiday for Ash Wednesday, then we are dealing with a cult. I mean, I don't know what else you could really call it at that point. You know what I mean? Hashtag time freedom. So technically, like, you're not allowed to use the term financial freedom. And finally, everyone kind of got on board with that. So after putting the scarlet letter on financial freedom, the industry pivoted and is now using the term time freedom and the more general term freedom to market MLM business opportunities. In its business guidance concerning multi-level marketing, the FTC made clear that representations that MLM participants can quit their jobs, fire their bosses, become stay-at-home parents, etc., amount to represent, and Ash, by the way, also make generational wealth. Yeah, that counts too. amount to representations that participants can earn career-level income. Due to this, these MLM companies were forced to find a new term, and they do this a lot. Like now, instead of calling themselves MLMs, they've all adapted affiliate program because they realize that affiliate programs are usually not at all illegal. So, they're constantly kind of trying to find these loopholes. Hello, Adam. Good to see you. I'm glad that you could be here. Hello, Jelly. I'm glad that you made it. Basically, it's any way that you represent the career level income, right? Like that you could do the MLM full time, quit your job, all that kind of stuff, and make that much money. They consider it an illegal income claim. So they consider this to be a better term even, that would represent these things without Hunbots having to make any illegal income claims. They're always looking for these loopholes. It's an illegal income claim to state you can quit your 9 to 5 and work from home and make the same income. It is illegal to claim financial freedom, but it is not illegal to state this company gives you time freedom. However, in recent years, regulatory agencies have caught on that time freedom and financial freedom are one and the same in the MLM industry. And in my opinion, if a term is being used to replace another term because that one became illegal to use, maybe it's just better not to use any of them at all. I'm just saying, maybe you should be questioning why it is that you have to constantly change your language to appear to be legal, So why is it a lie? All right. Claims of time freedom are doubly deceptive. The term misleadingly suggests distributors don't have to work hard to succeed in the MLM industry, and deceptively implies they'll achieve financial freedom, which the MLM industry now acknowledges is a clear-cut deceptive income claim, although they'll still use it any way that they can. And allegedly, Ash here and all of his crew never got this memo. The issue with pursuing time freedom, like if you're the type that you're like, yes, that's what I want to get in life, that's what you're pursuing, is that most people are motivated by money in this industry, especially. This motivation becomes unsustainable in the MLM business model. So while being motivated to achieve success and have more free time, you are not finding true passion in life and are in a business that is essentially set up for you to fail. You are motivated by money, but only the top 1% make money in MLMs. Pursuing a true passion and finding a life purpose outside of work or career goals is often better motivation, better way of living. There's a way to find that purpose without being in an MLM company. In fact, I argue that it's easier to follow your passion and dreams when you are not wasting efforts on MLMs. By living and working with purpose, you gain meaning, satisfaction, and sustainable motivation. You'll wake up excited, close the laptop feeling proud of what you can accomplish, and achieve a new level of presence with those you care about most. Chase that rabbit, and you'll never stop running. MLMs often take up your time, but also your money. You are often forced to buy products or spend on training materials. Here in Onpassive, the only way you can make withdrawable money is if you sell a product that you also bought. If you have not also bought the product, you just make Onpassive O-coin credits that then are spent back in Onpassive. So, like, were they ever really yours? Like, no, not really, in a way. So, if time freedom and financial freedom are one and the same, it's a complete illusion in the MLM industry. So, what can you do instead? You may need to set better boundaries, learn to say no, or improve key relationships. But don't assume work itself is the problem or that escapism is the best solution. While rest and play have their place, purpose and meaning can come from pursuing work, whether a job, a hobby, or a calling that ignites your passions, leverages your gifts, and contributes value to the world. That may be finding purpose and impact in your current work, or aligning your current position with deeply held priorities. Work on achieving attainable goals that don't involve get rich quick schemes. Go back to school, if possible. Find training programs and pursue your passion. If you want to be in a field that helps people, you can even start volunteering in your community. That will give you purpose in life, and you'll be helping those closest to you. There are also job programs that you can attend if you need to switch careers because yours is draining. However, the pursuit of time freedom almost always ends badly 99% of the time. Taking a look at the Onpassive MLM cult as our example, O founders are expected to spend hours per day in these long webinars, spend time on ONET making connections to others in their cult, and soon they will be taking to social media to sell O Connect. Well, no, allegedly, right? When they are spending all day long doing these tasks, they don't have time freedom. They feel obligated to be at the webinars, especially the corporate webinars. Those ones they're pretty much told are mandatory. They are told to engage and be as active as possible on social media and during the webinars. And none of us know what that means when they say engage and be active, by the way. Adding this sense of obligation means the O founders do not have the freedom to do whatever they want, whenever they want. They have a webinar at 10 a.m., another at 12, another at 2 p.m., another at 5 p.m., another in the evening, and an O Bless planning session at midnight. The cult often takes up most of their time, which can also take you away from pursuing these other passions that you could be pursuing, spending time with family, which a lot of people find purpose in that. I'm just saying. A perfect example of the lack of time freedom in Onpassive, I believe, is Chris Johnson's recent hospital visit. We're not just doing this to poke out a guy and laugh at him because he's in the hospital. That's not what we're really doing here today, guys. You see, most people, when in hospital, would rest and spend that time recuperating. Most obligations would also allow you, usually when you're in the hospital, like even your job, even if you have like the worst boss in the world, they kind of have to accept you're in the hospital and like wait for you to return. Like, you get what I'm saying? However, Chris Johnson was live on webinars due to his false sense of responsibility to this scam. So today I want to dive deeper into these live streams. And when we watch them, I want you to think about what time freedom is and how it is supposed to apply to those in Onpassive. You will hear him describe his false sense of obligation, and we will be discussing it in full. Is streaming from your hospital bed something that you would do if you had real-time freedom? Even if you were part of an MLM cult? I mean, Is it time freedom? So let's think about that. And then we're going to watch first Marty and the very, very first time that we found out about Chris being in the hospital and kind of the wording that Marty uses when he starts the stream. I think it's a really good showcase of him almost using that false sense of obligation to him and the responsibility to Onpassive against Chris in a way. You'll understand what I mean in a moment.
Because I really don't want to do one without Captain Chris Johnson. Let me give you a little what I do know. He was at a bonfire last night. He was looking forward to going. And sometime during the bonfire, he was coming down some steps and he fell. His cousin called me and said that he had fallen. Please tell people not to call him because he can't answer his phone. I said, okay. The best I found out is they think he might have bruised or broke a rib, but that's all I know.
So the first thing that you heard is him start the stream with, I don't want to do this without Chris, right? And then he tells everybody what happened to Chris. And unfortunately, as you heard, Chris was in the hospital because he broke some ribs, you know? Which is not cool. Not cool. At the end of today's 360, Chris scolded the Onpassivians that were not on the call for missing it. Exactly. It's like a mandatory thing. It really is. They'll be like, oh, you don't care if you're not here. And so it's not just like these guys that are doing the streams, right? Either that have this obligation. It's everyone in this thing. You have to be there for them. Joe says, I've been watching a few of the old videos from 2021, and they were pushing the passive part of Onpassive. Exactly. And even when they started first telling people to like engage and that they had to be at the streams, they were still talking about passive income. But yeah, you'll notice that over that year, the term just kind of phases out. Right? And I think it's because of them telling them they have to plug in and engage. That became the new thing. Instead of them saying passive income, they said plug in and engage, be active, which I still don't really know what that means. If they're also telling you to engage, what is being active? Am I supposed to go for a run? Am I supposed to like do a jog, go to the gym? Like what is happening? I mean, you know, they were giving him something for pain. At least that's my guess. Probably. When I was in the hospital 4 years ago, I wouldn't live stream, but I would watch. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you get bored in the hospital, right? A lot of people do. It's not exactly fun. And if you are, you know, well enough to kind of be awake, you need something to do. So it would make sense that, you know, you would be watching it. I could see you watching it for sure. That makes sense to me. But it still is sad still to have the obligation of having to watch. You know what I mean? Like, I would hope that you were doing it more because you were bored and needed something to do. And it was kind of like the main thing that you do and not because you felt obligated to watch, you know? That would be better. I've seen an MLM person stream after giving birth. Yes. Yeah. Yep. And that's what I mean. It's craziness.
She wrote me back again. Can you please tell people to stop calling? And I told her, we didn't chat. It was an audio. I told her back, well, if we get an update, maybe I can get people to stop calling. But he knows a lot of people.
If we get an update, then I will tell people to stop calling. It's a little weird, if you ask me.
And there's no way I could reach everybody and tell them to stop. But anyway, if you get this message or this video, just tell people stay calm. As we hear the info, I obviously will let you know. And if Chris is good enough in the
It's so
afternoon, we'll do a
weird.
live together. But either way, Red will be doing a live at 11. So I just don't want to do a live without him till I find out what's going on. Love y'all. Don't make a big panic out of this. I just,
See, and this is the other thing. Like, I don't know if it's really fair to announce, like, okay, I'll use myself as an example, okay? Let's say that I injured myself and I ended up in the hospital. And of course, you would all be very, very worried. No, you would probably have a party and be very happy I'm in the hospital. But let's just say you were all very, very worried. I would not, I'm joking, by the way. I would not have my husband come on here, let's say, and then just tell you all that I'm in the hospital and that you're going to get an update and then not expect you all to be freaking out a bit about what was wrong with me and stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like there was some emotional manipulation happening here that was a little weird. They kind of dropped that Chris was in the hospital publicly to everyone, but then nobody knew what happened. So everyone's first instinct is reach out to Chris. So then they do that, and then Marty comes out here and he's like, okay, this is kind of what happened. I had to extort the information out of Chris to tell you guys, basically, but please stop calling him. And I feel like they're like playing with the emotions of their community, their Onpassive members, the people that watch their streams, you know? It's not really fair to do. I would wait. Nobody would know that I was even at the hospital until I knew what was going on or until I was home. And then you guys would find out about it. I'm just saying. Because I wouldn't want to be bothered. I wouldn't want to have that happening. I would just disappear and then I would come back as if nothing happened. Or I would like come back and then let you know. Or if I was too ill for my husband to give an update, he probably wouldn't even give a public update, to tell you the truth. He would probably have to rely on like Joe or the devil's advocate or somebody to tell you what's going on. But that's what I mean. And it's because it would not be fair to you all. Like, it's just, I don't think it's fair to come out here and be like, I'm in the hospital, blah, 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 blah. And then get mad at them because they were worried reaching out. Like, obviously they're going to be doing that. Why are you surprised? And why are you acting like that is like something weird of them to do? Like, you know, the whole thing's very, very strange. The queen is dead. Long live the king. It would just be very weird though. And like the whole comment about, I told him that I wouldn't tell people to stop calling unless he told me what was wrong. Like, that seems really exploitative to me and I don't like it. Like, he'll tell you when he wants to tell you. Like, I don't like it.
things happen. I believe Chris is going to be fine. But he had a tumble and hurt his rib or whatever, and that can be pretty painful. And especially somebody that laughs a lot. Yeah, it's. But anyway, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're not making it better, Marty. I'm just saying.
I will get back to you as soon as I know something. Please, please don't call him. That's what his cousin said. So, and I'm sure that came from Chris because, she didn't have to say anything. So anyway, see y'all. I'll keep you updated. The best thing you can do instead of calling is pray that he will recover quickly. We know that works.
Pray.
So, thanks everybody. And like I said, I'll be on with Chris when he's able to do it, or at least I give you info anyway, so I can find out. Thank you. Love y'all. See ya. Bye. Hello, everybody. I won't be doing a live today because I really don't want to do one without captain.
So that was it. Sorry, I started playing again. I don't know why it started to play again, but it started to play again. So yeah, that was how he came out here, and he like announced it to everyone. I found it very, very bizarre. He said a couple weird things, like I said. Like, I told him I wasn't going to tell people to leave him alone unless he told me what was going on. I was like, that's weird. But he also kind of puts it on Chris and says, like, I don't like to stream without Chris. And as you guys saw, like, the Onpassive stream didn't really happen. Which is also kind of telling to us about something else. It kind of tells you that they don't do these to give us the Onpassive updates. If the stream was all about the Onpassive updates, you would think that he would have been able to go ahead with it without Chris, and that it would be important to give the updates. But that's not what it is. It's like him and Chris running an Onpassive show together. Like they're co-host. You know what I mean? The full sense of importance for Chris to stream every day is mind-bending. And it would be awful. Like, I don't even feel that way. If I don't want to stream, I don't have to stream. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, feeling like I had to. That would be awful. I wouldn't want that at all. So now we're going to take a look at the first stream that they did together where Chris did arrive. And we're going to watch all of the funness.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?
I missed it.
The show starts in
10,
9,
9, 8,
7, 6,
6. I'm scared.
5, 4, 3, 2,
2.
1.
You guys are ready, right? You ready? Okay.
Go.
Woo! Party time! Woo! Party time!
Significantly integrates convenience and security for a new email era.
I'm sorry, Louisiana. I'm sorry. Yeah, I love it. I love it because it's such a big pump up. And then they're like, right, like you think something great's gonna happen, something spectacular right after the boom. And then it's just Onpassive, or it pans to like Marty sitting in his chair. And you're like, damn, how disappointing. Oh, man. Yep. He wasn't ready.
Coach and public speaker Anthony J. Robbins hails from the United States. Infomercials, seminars, and books on...
I hate Tony Robbins. I for like 5 years, I've been like, I need to do a video about Tony Robbins. I really cannot stand him. So this just made me laugh.
Self-help, such as Unlimited Power and Awaken the Giant Within, are some of the things that have brought him a widespread reputation. If Unlimited Power and Waking the Giant Within...
As if you mean he's awesome, like how I say Alex Jones is awesome, because I'm in love with the Gay Frog song. It's like my favorite song. I listen to it like every day. And I laugh at him, then I'll agree with you. Otherwise, we have to agree to disagree. Yeah, and then it's those three guys. It sounds like an intro for Elvis coming back from, right? He like hits his big pump up for something real big, and then it's just that.
Interest you. Join this next
Or Tony
global
Robbins,
tech
I
giant
guess.
free at www.coolzone.ai.
Now, like, what they're trying to do here, which, okay, we all watch this and we go, Tony Robbins would have nothing to do with Onpassive. As much as I hate Tony Robbins, I do think that he's intelligent enough that he would take one look at Onpassive and be like, yeah, no, this thing's a scam. But what they're doing is they're putting this quote on here, right? Because, for example, people that maybe don't speak English, right? But maybe they recognize Tony. You know what I'm saying? It's false advertising. And it's almost supposed to like trick your mind into connecting Onpassive and Tony. It's like the same reasons why he brings up like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk or whoever else he wants to bring up and compare himself to Ash when he's doing his rants. It's the same sort of thing, except for like the marketing material doing this, it's just seems 10 times more deceptive to me. He's been co-opted by the MLM industry hard, but Tony himself seems like a sincere person. Look at his face.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Marty and Chris Live. It is the 5th of February. Couple things I want to go over, and then I'll give you an update on Chris, what I know. If you remember last Wednesday, we went over an update Mr. Mufara did. There was notes in the back office of what the plan is. The plan has not changed. But I want everybody to keep in mind, this is a massive undertaking business that they are putting together and launching for all of us. No blueprint. They have plans, they work the plan, and they go. But sometimes we're veered off to the right and to the left because a lot of the issues are out of the company's complete control. Because
I don't know, Marty. You seem to be doing pretty good here in this moment, talking about Onpassive stuff without Chris. I don't know why you kind of like made him feel like the show can't go on without him.
you know, you have to give and take. But keep in mind, every time from the very beginning of Onpassive, since I've been in, which is 5 years, the end of this month, anytime there's a setback due to outside source, whatever the reason is, I don't care what it is, the blunt and the kick and the punch in the gut is taken by the company and Mr. Mufara and his team. We get none of.
Did he say that his anniversary of being in Onpassive is 5 years at the end of February? Is that what he said? Does that line up?
Of it. We get none of them. We get none of the money that they've been beat up with. Blah, blah, blah. In fact, every time there's some kind of issue that comes up,
Right.
the company overcompensates for all of us. He either gives an.
It doesn't overcompensate. They're trying to manipulate them with that. It's the same with how they were like, oh, Ash is so great for refunding everyone 97 coin. He promised them all that they would get that money back, and then they didn't get it back. So it was kind of like he had to do that. They make it sound like he always goes above and beyond for them. This guy does the bare fucking minimum that you could do, and if you're lucky. And I think that's why. It's because whenever he actually does do something, it's almost, they're also surprised. They also take it as like this big amazing thing almost, because he just never does anything properly.
Extension, which he did twice, or he drops the price so that you can go longer without having to pay again out of pocket. That's fact.
I just feel like they didn't really go live with it, or or promote it until after February. So did he just kind of confirm for us that he was in this before it went live to anyone else? Because I believe that they didn't start really streaming about it until closer to the summer. Because it was around for a little while before they actually started to promote it. Okay, there was almost a year, but not quite, where it was in existence and it was a thing, but they weren't all really doing these live streams yet. And I'm pretty sure that was after the end of February that all started. Like, I wasn't expecting him to say February. If he had said like April, June, I would have been like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, because that's about the time that Ash was doing his like first real big webinars that were getting views on this, right? So I'm kind of like, wait, end of February, 5 years ago. I think he might have just confirmed it for us. Like, he definitely had to have been in it before it went online, like with Ash streaming and stuff. I think Marty is the one who really made it big. From the sounds of it, things might have even shut down if it wasn't for Marty, honestly. If Marty's being honest. I would believe that Marty has a lot to do with it, for sure. That's why I say that I believe that he knows more than he lets on. And he talks to Ash on a regular basis. Like, they're friends. Not just like because Marty's in this thing. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if he joined it before they went live, just like we thought. But I feel like he did kind of just confirm that for us by saying 5 years at the end of February. I do believe that would have been before most people joined. Like, he really is one of the OGs here. And between him and Ash, like, that would have been a pretty decent group. Because you have to think that Ash in GDI was their top recruiter. He had signed up like 100 people in a week, I believe it was. It's in my Ash video. We've read through it a few times, but it was something like that. And he had gotten an award for it. So if he brought over several of those people, and then Marty brought over several of those people, they would have already had a decent group by the time it went live. Now, the reason why this is important, and I'm rambling about it, is because I've often wondered how Ash came live about this and then got so much attention right off the bat, and this following and trust from people. Okay, because it seemed like he didn't have to work too hard to earn trust. Now, go with me on this one. What if he had already built and brought in a whole bunch of people before they went live with Marty, with like Dan Street, all those guys, right? And they all bring over their people from other MLMs. Well, now you have somebody doing their very first webinar live stream, but they actually have an audience already made. That would make sense then, that people on the outside of that watching, to them it would appear like this guy is a trustworthy dude because he already has this following. You get what I'm saying? That then would make it make a little more sense to me as to how this kind of blew up as it did after that. Because I've often wondered, like, what did they do at the very, very start, in the very first few live streams that they ever did about it, to kind of like get that following? And I'm like, like, how did they gain the people's trust? Well, a lot of people on here, unfortunately, trust comes with numbers. So if you have a big number next to your name, you become automatically trustworthy out here on the internet. If you have a small number next to your name, nobody cares what you have to say. So if he had like jumped on here, immediately gotten a bunch of subs and people following him, and it looked like there were 70 people in his chat talking already about this Onpassive thing, it makes more sense why he would have been trusted by the people on the outside, right? Maybe that's why Marty is hanging on so much. When everyone gets screwed, he will benefit a bit. I definitely think that that has something to do with why both he and Chris Johnson are in it. I believe Chris Johnson also believes him to be like at the same level as Marty with that. And so for him, he can't let go because he knows that he's going to be in the top 1% here. And he just can't see past that. Making money while on disabilities. You're usually allowed to, though, if you're on disabilities, you're allowed to make like a certain portion. And let's be real, I don't think that Marty would have succeeded that. I just don't. You know? You'd have to funnel me a large amount of money to do any of what Marty has done through the years. Yeah. Like Marty and Dan Street are respectable businessmen. See, and this is what I mean, because none of them were. All of them had been in MLMs, but most of them not that successful. Like small time MLM people. So that's kind of what got me wondering, like, how did we get here so quickly? But then this kind of gives me a little bit of a picture of what if they did what I said, you know? If I had jumped out here and I, right off the bat, had like 500 subs in the first day of logging on here with my first video, that might have helped me, you know? People do a live stream, have 500 people in your live chat the first time you do a stream, you're going to look a lot more trustworthy than if you only have like 5 people in your chat, let's say, you know? Or the 20 people I have now, you know? Like, that's what I mean. So I'm kind of like, that would have made some sense as to how people kind of fell for this. The only thing I would change is I think these guys moved as a blog when another MLM collapsed. Remember, there's videos around of Mike and Marty talking about Red, Julie, Lynn, and others pre this. See, and this is what I'm saying. So, like, that's what I mean, though. What if they all got a group together, like, way before any of this? So when it did come into fruition, there was already a following. You know? That's how you gain trust out on the internet when you want to get people in your scam. Right? That's why a lot of these crypto people, they like to buy subs. They come out here and they have big numbers. It makes them look a lot more trustworthy. So I'm like, how deep did this go before it actually went like live or was even thought about, you know? And what did they plan, right, Albs? Like what was this actually supposed to be? Is always in the back of my mind too. Especially with these payment problems. Okay, I'm like, obviously he never planned on paying anyone a cent. Or else we would have fucking figured it out by now.
I have never been in a company that does, there is no company that does that, just bar none. Now, when you here's what our plan is, keep in mind, people say, well, I've had some people tell me, I don't see, I don't know, I'm not sure, what happened. Let the cards be shuffled.
See, that's the thing. You wouldn't trust them if it was just them. But if they have this huge other following and it seems like there's all these other people that think that they're great, then you might trust them. That's kind of the experience that we have right now with them, right? But like today, it might make a little bit more sense. I just wondered, because like if you go back to the earliest streams, like they have like a lot of people there. And it's like, how the fuck did they get this many people here? But that would completely explain it. Because it couldn't all be bots. Not every single one of them can be bots.
Out. Let the cards be dealt. Then you look at the hand you have. Do not judge your hand when you weren't even given all the cards yet. Okay? Do you think that they had to give an extension? No.
I have saved 2 of Marty's other channels. It's about crypto. Yeah, see, the thing is, we always kind of knew that these guys were connected. But I'm like, man, they must have brought their whole teams with them. I bet you Marty brought a bunch of the crypto people that he used to, like, teach, right? He just did, like, crypto MLMs and stuff before this. I know Mike Ellis did do some, too. There's a bunch of his old videos out there as well that you can find.
Did it because they want things to fall into place. There's a lot involved. And Ash said something that's very, very important many times, but this last one was big.
Guys, who knew that there was a lot involved when running a tech business? I mean, jeez.
If we don't bring it up every week and we haven't changed what we said from the week before, it's still in the plan. What were we told? If you're in, you'll win. Buy the product, pay for the product, you're in, you'll win. Dream bigger. He didn't say that to.
But this is the thing, though. It's not like that. You can't just be like, you're in, you win. The end. That's all you have to do, because that's not all you have to do, right?
5 people. He didn't say, here, let's get together. I want to talk to 6 of you. I want you to.
Wait, you know what, guys? You would think with all the crypto connections that Ash had, that he would figure out how the fuck to get Ocoin on an exchange. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that for now. Because it's like, if you got all these crypto bros in Onpassive, why do we still not have Ocoin on an exchange? How come you can't figure out merchants? That almost makes it look worse. It makes it worse.
Dream even bigger. Dream as big as you can. He said it to every founder in Onpassive. Now, in order for that to take place, forget what the little freaking details are. For that to take place, things have to fall in order in which Onpassive wants it to fall. If one of the puzzles, one of the pieces of puzzles isn't quite fitting, he stops, gives an extension, adjusts the puzzle, and moves on.
Okay, but that's not what happened, though, with OConnect even. It wasn't just one little thing that wasn't fixed. Like, the thing was crashing. It was buffering. People couldn't join when they, like, the streams. I guess they were having problems with people, like, actually going to the live streams. It taps out at a number or something. Like, there was a lot of problems going on. And then on top of that, there was the problems with the merchants. You had to extend everyone's OConnect for them because of the problem with the merchants. You told everyone that they wouldn't have to pay for it again, right? Because they were going to make their 100% commission and traffic was being allocated by the 16th of January and blah, 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 blah. So when the date came that OConnect subscription was supposed to end for a lot of people, it was like you kind of had to extend it. Because the things that Ash was supposed to put into place for them by that date, he had not accomplished like he had promised he would. So it's not like an extra thing, as you've talked about it. It's not even a good thing at all. It's because he failed. He failed at what he promised and was forced to extend it because there were so many problems with, like, everything going on. The site was even acting up. OConnect then crashed for a fucking week, and then you guys were like, oh, maybe we should fix it. That's a problem.
That's what we're getting daily, weekly, yearly. Okay? So, we got a 10-day extension. It wasn't 30. My brain says because they plan on getting to the next step in the 10 days, not 30. Now, if they extend it, because they have to. Okay? Please look at it that way. If you still have a doubt about Onpassive or what,
then please come over here and take a look at my Onpassive playlist. It will certainly help you see the light. Go and check out the Recovering Hunbot. Go see Spencer Cornelia's channel. There's a lot of places you can go, but Marty's not the place.
Their intention is there's something drastically wrong. Look, I know there's people outside of Onpassive and they have their agenda and they think the most negative and they want to save the world and let me help all of you. Look, you should.
I really don't want to save the world. Don't put that on me. I'm not here to save the world, dude. I'm just here to speak out and blow the whistle on things that I don't like. That's literally the only reason why I got a YouTube channel to begin with, and has always been. So that I could blow the whistle on things like MLM scams, etc. I started covering this because the Recovering Hunbot wanted to know if this was a cult. And my conclusion is yes, very, very much so. And we were friends. Well, we are friends, but I mean, at that time, I'm talking past tense. I could have like 30 people clip that and be all happy. We are friends, and at that time, we wanted to do it together. But I promise you, she and I never got together and were like, let's take this thing down. Like, nothing of the sort. Nothing like that whatsoever. I joke about that sometimes, but no. It was this Ash Bufara guy keeps making promises to these people, and nobody's holding him accountable for it. There's like one channel that's done like a couple videos on them, and then that's it on the whole internet. And they have 5 million videos of what I consider to be cult propaganda all over the place. Like, we got to even this out a little bit here, and we need to hold this man accountable because he's telling them he's going to do something by this date. Date comes and goes, and then they don't hold him accountable. And, if they break the laws and if they continue on the scam, then we have to report them to the proper places, because that's what happens when you do things publicly, like businesses, and you break the law. People report you. Follow the law, and I won't have to report you, Marty. Why don't you tell Ash to try doing that? That'd be a lot easier for me. Stop trying to break child labor laws everywhere. And all of the regulatory laws of business in every country. And then I would have an extra hour of my day every day where I'm not collecting things to report you for. Maybe do that. But, yeah, no. I love how they picture us as like these Marvel or DC comic demons that are like very negative. And we just want to take down things. We're like, oh, successful people, I hate those. It's very MLM of you, Marty. Very MLM of you, Marty.
No better. Let's look at the worst case scenario.
Okay.
Do I have a gun to my head that tells me you stay in this business or we're going to shoot you? No, I could quit. I could walk away right now. But what I see and what I believe is massive.
I don't remember anyone being made to join a cult with a gun to their head. But have you ever heard of Jonestown?
And what have I done physically or monetarily wise that I can't take it anymore? I'm not paying any money. I don't have to be here, but the potential of
Why aren't you paying any money? Are you getting money to pay for these products that we're all unaware of, Marty? Because you've had to buy OConnect and you haven't made commissions, so what do you mean you're not paying?
being part of something this big and life-changing income, in my opinion. I don't know numbers. I don't care numbers.
I believe that life-changing income is also against the FTC. Just saying.
I don't think I'm going to have to think about money one day. That makes me rich. If I don't have to...
No, that's also illegal. based on the Federal Trade Commission. It's not talking about getting rich. They really do not like the word rich. Just remember, you're going to get a lot of apples. What happened here, Marty?
Focus on money, I'm rich. To me. If I need something, I can get it. If I can help somebody, it's done.
Is it?
That is so powerful. I want to ask everyone a question.
He's Batman. I'm just saying. Have you ever seen Batman and Marty in the same room? You probably never would. He never leaves the chair.
We brought this up on our minnow. And I'm going to say as much as I can that never jeopardizes what the company's doing, because I don't know the inside scoop, okay? I don't want to know it.
Okay, Marty, listen. Marty, you got to decide if you know the inside scoop or if you don't know the inside scoop. Because I got to say, you kind of go back and forth with it. It seems like when you need to leverage that you're somebody important here, you and Ash are super duper close, and you know all of the inside scoop. But then the rest of the time, you have nothing to do with it, and you don't know shit. So can you just pick one and then stick to it? I feel like I'm a ping pong ball right now, and I'm just going back and forth, because you literally, I swear to God, the last time I reacted to you, you were talking about how you had I can just get on the phone with Ash at any time. And I'm like, okay, listen, come on, bud. Pick one. Just pick one. Damn it. I have to go say goodnight to my daughter, so we're going to be taking a short little commercial break. It's good time. We're about halfway through. It's not going to be a long one, guys. This one's half an hour, and we're at almost the 10-minute mark. So we're going to take a short little commercial break so that I can go and say goodnight to my daughter, because she's going to bed now. And I'll be right back. Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the, whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Tiny Dinger Condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Do you think women lie about being sexually assaulted? Do you use your community like a dating app but only date women in other countries but flirt with other women the entire time? Then leave that e-girlfriend for another woman with a My Little Pony fetish that ends up being a dude who's catfishing you for 6 years as a sexy woman? Do you then post lolly of bubbles in your Discord after making sexual cartoons involving minors and claim you are not a nunce? Do you think Onision is innocent? Then we have the brand for you. You won't need to make Sims characters out of your community members anymore and impregnate them in some weird fetish game, or date men who love My Little Pony and the Powerpuff Girls when you have Tiny Dinger Condoms. Heck, you won't even need to wank it to Faith Vickers and Ethan Ralph's porn anymore. Bet you'll soon make your own with that sexy woman or man, you know, the one who loves the Powerpuff Girls there. Just turn on the webcam and show that real live e-girl from OnlyFans, who I'm sure loves you just as much, that Tiny Dinger, and let her know that you use Tiny Dinger Condoms. The condoms that won't let your manliness hide when a man wants to come and do the anal slip and slide. Located at the CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, all of your local pharmacy brands, and hidden in your favorite streamer's nightstand, because don't worry, they're all the same. No more desperation with those condoms. Now, back to our video. Now, back to our stream where Marty is going off on everyone about BS.
But I can read tea leaves. I can look at puzzle pieces. We got the whole square done, and they're starting to fill in the center. I could tell you what the picture is. Maybe I'm off a little bit on the color. Maybe that building's...
But like, again, why do you have to do a puzzle to figure out what's going on in the alleged place that you're supposed to be working at?
not quite that big, but it doesn't matter. I can look at it and say, well, this is a freaking masterpiece. I'm not going nowhere. If you're not looking and you're not listening, I understand you being anxious. But if get rid of the anxiety and get caught up.
Basically, get rid of your anxiety and make sure you show up to these streams and listen to us. Listen to our manipulation. Let us indoctrinate you into no longer wanting to expect what's promised to you here. I've been indoctrinated for 5 years. Why aren't you more like me? That's what this speech is.
Tapped in, listen to what I'm saying. Look at what they've done. Look at what they've done every time there was a hiccup.
Okay, but if you're tapped in and you're watching all these webinars, do you have time freedom? Is there such an obligation here to be present and plug in?
And these hiccups are not because of the company. It's what happens externally. Do you think if we were handling our own money?
No, but that's also the fault of Ash, because Ash could have planned all of this out better and should have had all of this shit worked out like 5 years ago. I don't know why you wouldn't have worked this out as one of the very first things that you work out running your business, is how to get the payments for your product, and then it would be how to pay the people of your business. That would be like one of the very first things that you would do in your business planning. I don't understand how this thing's been running for fucking 6 years come June, and like, he doesn't even have anything sorted out here. He had no plan for this. He had enough time to do 6 backup plans if things didn't work out. That's on him. He waited until the very last minute because he was never, ever going to actually come up with products or pay anyone out. Then the SEC lawsuit happened. And he was like, oh shit, now I better actually do something, or else I'm going to be in big, big trouble. And now he's scrambling. And because of all of that, and the fact that he's a dishonest asshole that wants to do unethical business, because of all of that and his scrambling right now, that's why you're in this position with the outside people, as you put it, the external people. You always want to blame someone else, but at the end of the day, it's Ash's responsibility to have worked all of this out. And he's had 5 years. I'm getting really sick of waiting 5 years for people to do things, okay?
And we were our own merchant that we would be dealing with this, no, it'd be over. But that's not something you can just grab. I think I'll be a merchant. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to the bank. I'm going to make my own bank. Those things take time. But in the meantime,
we can't get a merchant, so we're going to make our own. Is that not a red flag? Like, would you want to really be a part of a company that's not trusted by any merchants? I mean, that kind of tells me that something might be going on. I don't know.
you have to work with outside forces to get this thing moving. And do I believe no matter what came up, no matter what's going on, that we're going to succeed? Yes. 99.999 plus 100%. I believe.
Do you just like take the numbers and switch them around there? 99.99% of people are not successful in MLMs. Only 0.064% are actually successful.
That 100%.
Not even one.
I have enough issues with grandchildren and family that I need to be concerned over. Onpassive is not one of them. Do I wish the outside sources would play fair and do the right thing and help this?
Whoa. No, Marty, it's not them that's not playing fair. Yeah, if Ash had done this properly, then he wouldn't be in this position. Next level says he can probably make a merchant ID in Nigeria. Yeah. And the merchant that they ended up going with, which allegedly isn't doing very well with them right now, which is part of the problem. I think they got found out by them, to be fair, is one in Mexico. And then it has a fee. So, like, it wasn't exactly the most up and up one anyway, which that gets, to be a bit problematic here, if you ask me. And with the lack of security of a merchant like that, they can't call themselves secure and then use some merchant in Mexico that honestly it looked like a scam and then get all these charges, It doesn't exactly make you look secure. And again, that's all up to Ash. That's all. Ash had to work all that out, and he should have. I don't know how you don't work that out in 5 years.
Company that wants to help people move ahead, yes, but that's not going to happen. We might be loved, and people might hate us. I see it. There's people right now that hate Onpassive, hate Mr. Mufara, hate me, hate Chris, hate Red. I never met him.
I don't hate any of you. I would have to care about you to hate you. I'm pretty close to hating Ash. Pretty close. Pretty damn close. About as close as you could get to hating a person. But you gotta admit, he's a really big asshole. I mean, he goes to third world countries, promises people their generational wealth, water filtration systems, data centers. And he knows when he's making these promises, none of this shit's gonna happen. And I don't know how you can do that and promise people things like that and then just be like, oh, well, fuck it, and then move on with your life. That's bizarre to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a sociopath.
I don't know why they're saying it. With all the businesses out there that rip people off for 20 or 30 years, why they're not on this big grandstand of people hating them.
They are. They're most. If you've looked at scams on YouTube, go on YouTube, Marty, and type in scams and see what pops up. I bet you won't even find me on there because there's so many people that talk about scams.
I don't even hate the companies that took advantage of it for me. I didn't have to do it. I did it. I got burnt. People with me got burnt. And some of those people blamed me. I can't do anything about that. I don't dwell on what happened.
Okay, you have to decide, are you the face of this company or not? You can't come out here as a representative of this company, tell everyone to come to your webinars and listen to you when it comes to the good news. And then when it comes to the bad news, tell everyone that they shouldn't be coming to you about anything. You do realize that when you do get customers, if you imagine you're a customer and you go to use one of these products, and then you go to the person that sold it to you and they're like, what you coming to me for? Like, come on, Marty. Come on, dude. Like, you're the representative. You're the face of the company. You're one of the top LCs. I warned you about this like 2 years ago. I said, if you don't want to start getting blamed for this thing as much as Ash is, I'd get the fuck out now. Because once this takes off and people start joining, I told you, you're fucked. You're the face of the company, my dude. You're going down with them. It's like you're in the Titanic and it's hitting an iceberg. It's called the SEC. And then you're going to hit that iceberg and you're all going to sink. And if I was Rose, I'd let the fuck go, okay?
Well, I'm where I'm going. I've been with this company since 2019. Why? Because I can see the puzzle.
Because you were friends with Ash from before that? You all got together because you were unsuccessful in all of your other MLMs and you made your own? And then AshMax shut down. I wouldn't be surprised if you were also in that one. So then he had to try it again. That's why you're here. Because you guys found that the way to make money in an MLM is by being one of the very first people to sign up. That's about the only way. You have to be like literally one of the very first distributors to sign up in order to be successful. There is no other way. As you move up, so do the people above you. Usually. So you're always in that pyramid, in that spot on that pyramid. But if you're at the top of the pyramid, right, then you get all the benefits. And you guys kind of figured that one out. So then you aligned all of yourselves at the top of this pyramid, and now you don't want the responsibilities that being at the top of this thing would give you. Okay.
I can see the picture. You know the box that has the picture before the puzzle? I see that.
He's psychic, guys.
But I worked at seeing it. And I got rid of this crap.
But see, that's the thing, is that you had to work at seeing anything coming into fruition here, okay? You're basically, Marty, sitting here describing your mind manipulation to us and how you basically manipulated yourself into believing all of this shit. Right? Oh, I had to get rid of all my negativity. I had to get rid of all that. Okay, but why? That's a little weird. You had to program your brain in order to be in Onpassive and where you are today? And in order to believe in this thing? Seems a bit bizarre.
I see in what this old history in my mind. Well, you got burnt, you're going to get burnt, you're getting burnt tomorrow, and the next day you're going to get burnt again. I don't believe in that philosophy. I believe you fall down, you scuff up your knee, put a damn Band-Aid on it, and keep walking. Oh, I fell.
Oh, okay. That's why he's been in like 20 MLMs. Got it.
Fall down again. Oh, that must be, okay, I give up on life. No bullshit. As long as I'm alive, you keep walking, you charge ahead. That's the difference between someone that does videos and tries to pretend they're helping you and they care about you, and the difference between people that say, I believe it can be better, I'm looking at something that's better, and I want to be part of it. That's it. I have no intentions on changing.
Are you trying to say that I don't care about anybody in this thing, Marty? Is that what you're trying to say? Are you going to tell me that you actually care about the people in Papua New Guinea who you promised that you would give them a Christmas this past year? What about all those Christmases that you ruined with Ash? In 2023, because you told all of the O founders that no matter what, they were going to be paid by Christmas. And then that wasn't good enough for you. You guys were like, you know what? We fucked them all over on Christmas time and fucked them all over on their Christmases. So let's also fuck them over on New Year's Eve. And he said, we'll give it to you by the end of the year. Let's also ruin their New Year's, right, Marty? And then the money still hasn't come. And it's February 4th. We're on Valentine's Day. This is the third holiday now where people aren't paid when they were supposed to be paid by now. In a row. And we'll hit other ones in future, I'm sure. More holidays are coming. You cared about those people, did you? Do you really care about them, though? Because I bet you the second that they leave this thing, you forget who they are. You haven't mentioned anything about Pat Perrin in a while. Do you actually care about the people in this thing? I don't like people that scam people, especially people that are vulnerable. And this scam that you're in, that you are a part of, very much so, looks for vulnerable people to scam. You don't care about them unless you make money off of them. Right? I don't care about making money at all. I really don't. Otherwise, I probably still wouldn't be doing this. All right? That's not what I'm doing here. I don't pretend to care about people either. Trust me, if I don't care about you, you'll know it. That's the one thing you don't have to worry about with me. All right? But I cannot go on in my life knowing that you're all doing this to people and like ignore it now. Sorry.
To people that hate me. How am I going to do that? Well, I'll talk better. I'll dress better. I don't give a crap. So please get.
And we just want you to stop scamming people. Stop trying to get them to join your little schemes. It's like you keep doing these schemes, Marty. You keep doing these schemes and they keep failing. Just because this one's gone on for 5 years and hasn't completely flopped like you feel the other ones has, nothing's happened. So how long you gonna wait?
Get involved the best you can. There's some things we don't know. Did you?
And that's a problem, by the way. I feel like in this situation, especially when it comes to like their payments, they have a right to this information. Honestly, if you are a part of a company, right, and it's your job, you're working there every day, and your employer doesn't pay you, you'd be pretty upset, right? Marty, what would you do if your retirement fund didn't show up this month? You'd be pretty upset. You'd call up the government and be like, what the hell? Or if your disability didn't show up, you'd be like, where's my check, you know? But for some reason, you can hang out in this thing for 5 years, be told that you're getting paid, work your ass off, and you're okay with it. Maybe you should be asking yourself why you don't care enough about yourself to actually be treated with respect and honesty here and actually be told what's going on. Stringing people along is just not a good look for Ash. If he's having a problem with the merchants, he should come out here and honestly show everyone. Show us, what are these issues? Don't keep it a secret. They have a complete right to ask you at this point, especially, where the fuck is my money? You've promised me it by Christmas. You fucked over my Christmas because I was depending on it. You promised me it by New Year's and you fucked me over there. Where's my money? Bitch better have my money. Okay? What are you guys doing? It's been literally 3 full months pretty much of you promising payments now. And then you have the audacity to be like, oh, we'll just keep waiting. You don't need to know anything. Don't worry about it. How dare you ask? Don't bring it up to me, even though I'm the face of this company and I want you to listen to me on all my webinars. Don't bring your problems to me. At least I'll listen to their founder problems, Marty. How much do you care? If you're not going to even listen to the founder's problems with the business. Your founders could come into my chat and they could ask real questions and get real answers. They can't even do that in your chat. So, I think you gotta wake up. It's time to wake up, Marty. Wake up. You had your buddy streaming with you soon. It's on this one. From a hospital bed. And you're talking about how you guys have time freedom? And how people don't have a right to ask you what the hell's going on?
You have a mother like I did. You trust everything she said? Yeah.
Hi, Eli.
And did you come back to her every day to question her and
Coming
ask
on
her,
passive.
are you sure that's what's happening? No, I believe my mom more than I believe myself, actually. She was more of a rock than I was. I learned from that. But I've been in Onpassive 5 years. I don't have to be.
Marty keeps saying that like it's a flex. And that last time was particularly funny to me, and I don't know why. It's the way he said it, and he like does his nod. Yeah, I've been in this thing for 5 years. Like, I'd keep that to myself.
Be convinced. I don't need to see Ash every day. Do I like talking to him? Am I privileged that I am a step pretty close to him? Yes. And I understand people that.
Okay, dude, are you kidding me right now? Jesus Christ. You literally just said that you don't know what's going on because you're not close to Ash. You don't understand why people come. Oh my goodness. You just did it. You just contradicted yourself. This is what I was just talking about. I went on a whole rant about how you say things like this. And now here you are saying this. Yeah, I know. We know you and Ash are friends. You're connected. And that's why people come to you about this. And you expect them to come to your webinars every single day to learn about this business, but then not ask you when things like fuck up, what's going on? That doesn't make much sense to me. So again, are you close to Ash and connected to him enough to like that people should look to you for this information, right? Or do you not know what's going on and you're not close to Ash and you don't understand why people keep coming to you with things? Pick one. Can't be both.
Aren't. Yeah, that's easy for you to say, but I want to tell you, I do not ask him for the inside scoop.
So you just go with ignorance is bliss then? Maybe you should, Marty. How about the next time you try it? See what he says. Say, hey Ash, what's the inside scoop on this merchant situation? Can you give me the inside scoop? Marty's awake to the fact that he's finally in the top 1%. He just needs this baby to start the recurring billing, which totally doesn't exist in Onpassive, but denial ain't just a river in Egypt. No.
I read it, I listen to what he says. I started to understand Mufara. I understand what predicament he's in.
You really do, by the way, have to learn how to speak Mufara. I know that he thinks that he's joking about this in a good way, but it's not a good way. I have to tell you, like, the first few times that I watched Ash, I was like, what is he talking about? And like, I would get lost. He goes on like these tangents and like run around. It would be like if I was to stream, if I was high on some kind of upper drug, okay? It's just like, can you just get one thought and get it out of your head and do it properly, please? It's ridiculous. And so he uses like terms incorrectly. So it takes you a little bit to kind of like understand really what he's talking about. And I could imagine that if you were in this thing trying to figure out what's going on, you also experienced that same sort of thing. And as Marty said here, I learned how to speak Mufara. But you see, that's not a good thing, right? Like, you want the CEO of a business to come out and give you the information kind of precise and sweet and to the point. Short, sweet, to the point. Make it precise. Tell us what's up. Give us the scoop. And then, you know, go off and do his CEO thing. But Ash used to ramble on in like 6-hour live streams and like not make any sense. It really does take some getting used to. But again, it shouldn't. He should have no problem giving this information to people and doing it in a way where everybody could understand it, including someone who comes on the stream for the very first time. If the idea is to grow your business with these webinars, especially the ones that Ash is talking on, right? You're going to want somebody who's brand new to Ash and Onpassive. If they show up, you're going to want them to know right away about what it is and what's going on with this thing. And instead, it's like, I picture when this does finally start going. I know I've said this for so long. When it finally does start. But yeah, when they finally do start to get some customers and people getting allocated in their traffic, as they say, and all of that, I just kind of picture like a customer coming across this, and it's like Ash ranting about nothingness and then making like sexual jokes with the women on the live stream and like racist comments. Or I picture them coming and then asking like a question, like how we've seen, and then them kind of telling them to go watch Ash's webinars to figure it out. And it's like, you're going to lose all of your customers and any of your potential distributors or founders if that's how this is going to go. Because there's no way that someone brand new to Ash would just come across one of those, watch it, and be like, oh yeah, no, I totally understand this business and what it is and what I'm getting myself into. Right? And I strongly believe that in consumer protection. And I strongly believe that people, when they join, especially something like an MLM, where they're going to be a distributor, essentially an independent contractor with them, that they have the right to make what's called an informed decision. It's very, very important to me that people can make an informed decision. It's just like making consent, but with business, okay? And what it is it's the assurance that when somebody signs up for something, like an MLM, that they know exactly what it is that they're getting into. So that they have the right to make that decision on if they want to join or not, and that they're presented with all of the information needed before they do so. Which is why I continue to cover you. Because right now, if people look up Onpassive, it might just be all of your guys' videos. I need there to be some videos out there that are telling the truth about this thing for people to come across. Okay, we need lots of that. So, at the very least, right? Ash should be able to explain what this is. Have like an elevator pitch is what they call it in sales. Where he can give you the rundown on what this is and what it's all about in like 10, 15 minutes. Let's say we're in a very long elevator. And you would leave that without 5 bazillion questions, more confused than when he started, which I often end up more confused at the end of these than I did at the beginning, which is a very weird thing. Usually when I watch things, I understand more by the end, right? It's backwards over here. So that's what I mean. It's an issue. You really have to get that fixed. And again, that's for Ash to fix, not for you, Marty. But maybe just let him know, the next time you call him up on the phone, even though you don't talk to him all that often.
What he says, and he's held accountable for.
Yeah, I was bringing that up to Kara. I'm not really 100% sure on Pat Parent. I haven't had a chance to go and look, because they also haven't said anything about her. They basically have been just kind of using people and their ailments for emotional manipulation, and then you don't hear updates about them that often. So I haven't heard much on Pat Parent. But I promise to let you all know soon. Alp says, nah, I could totally see someone with a very low IQ watching an Ash webinar and say, yeah, this guy makes a lot of sense. I can tell that Ash hasn't signed up every moron in the world. There's more morons out there. There's a sucker born every minute. Yeah, and that's why they use buzzwords a lot and big tech words that he misuses and stuff, right? All the fluff that they use is for that reason, to sound intelligent. But I feel like most people would leave pretty confused because he rambles. It's the rambling not about Onpassive that I think would confuse them. You know what I mean? Hearing the Onpassive stuff, a lot of people, like you said, would probably be like, oh yeah, technology sounds good here. Especially if they don't know technology at all, which is who they prey on. Of course, it's easier to lie to them about technology, right? But I feel like anyone else in the world that comes across it and watches it, like a lot of people, even if they were into the tech talk, as soon as he starts going and hitting on Susie or somebody, or says something racist, or just goes on some weird rambling rant about nothing, which he's done on numerous occasions, and then he'll forget what he was talking about, and oh god. Sometimes I miss them, sometimes I don't. And I just feel like they'd check out at that point. They'd be like, okay, this guy's obviously a little nutso here. What's going on with this? But yeah, I haven't really seen Susie lately. I've made some comments myself. Find it very interesting. I wonder where she is. Maybe she was hula hooping and fell and hurt herself. I don't know. But I haven't seen her. She's really not around. If she didn't so completely convinced when she was on stuff before, I would actually think she'd have moved on to other stuff. She's around so little now. Yeah, I wouldn't say that she moved on, because like you just said, she's pretty hooked in, right? She really believes in Ash. She thinks Ash is the coolest, most amazing person in the whole world. I am pretty sure that she's his big fan. If there was one, it's her, right? Even watching her, and maybe we'll do a webinar on Monday and I'll try to find one with Susie in it. Because just watch her eyes when she's hearing Ash talk, and you can just even see it in her face, She's just enamored by him. He's so amazing. And before Susie, there were other people. We had Marina. She left. We had who's that other person that was there? You guys might have to help me out. I can't think off the top of my head right now. Dr. Soha also left, and she was one of the main women, right? That was kind of on here.
Every word. I understand that you can't come out and say things from the goodness of your heart because there's too many people, vultures out there that'll rip it apart and try to make you look horrible. I don't like it. It's life. But what I do care about is people.
We've never ever like taken somebody and made them from like the comment section and then like tried to make them feel horrible. The people in your comment section don't have to worry unless they praise Ash. Then I might point it out. It's not to make them feel horrible or look horrible. If I do it, it's to show the cultiness of it. Because when the comments are talking about Ash, as you're going to see in a little bit, you could remove the word Ash and you would think that you were watching an online like Catholic church talking about God. Like they'll be like, we praise Mr. Mufara. It's like, please don't do that. You know, like they really do treat him like a god.
I care about the founders. I care about you guys. And if you know that, people that know, I don't have to convince you, know that is my ambition. That was Chris Johnson's way of life. It's Red Redford, many people, and a lot of you now, a lot of people out there that have moved up in my book.
Okay, I was like, thank you, Marty, for elaborating on that, because I was like, moved up how? We're not moving anywhere in this thing. That's the problem. It's just been stagnant now for like 3 months straight. I mean, they started promising them payments at the very beginning of December. So technically it's been a little longer than that. I'm just being nice. And I'm giving you like from mid-December until like, now like we're starting to go on 3 months here. I would maybe get on that,
To a core solid part of Onpassive. And by the way, Ash knows who you are, and he reached.
Like we're gonna be hitting the 3-month mark in like mid-March, right? And it's like, why would you let this even go on 3 months? Like, I don't understand. If you didn't get paid from disability, you'd be calling them up right now. Treat Ash like you treat your government disability.
Respect that. All he wanted is loyalty, and if you don't have it, and you have to be sold on it.
All he wants is loyalty. No, it's not. He also wants you to buy OConnect and any of the future products that come out and promote this thing for him so that he doesn't have to promote it all over. But then he still does go, except he doesn't promote it all over. He promotes it in weird secret places. Not really secret, but like the Burj Khalifa. It's weird because you would think that your market would be mainly American, since this is an American company based out of the US. And then you do like the train station, it's like just marketing campaigns that nobody else would be doing for a company like this. I can assure you of that. So he wants a lot from people. He wants your time. He wants you to be engaged in everything. But I don't like that. All Ash wants is your loyalty. Just doesn't sit right with me. He's just asking for your loyalty. Why are you all being so rude? They're just asking for their payment. Why should they be loyal if they're still waiting for their payment that they've constantly been promised and lied to about? I think that's when loyalty should start to end. I'm just saying.
Every day, very easy. Log out and walk away. I pray that you don't, because I think when you get all the cards, instead of just a 10, I've only got a 10. The other 4 is a royal flush. Wait for the royal flush. Wait for the 4 aces. Don't judge this card game by one card that was dealt to you. Wait, please. And I want to tell you something. I was going to give you an update on Chris Johnson. Now, it's been very hard on me personally that he's not around because I'm going to
Okay.
confess.
See, here's the thing, is that once again with all this false obligation, right? Also, I love how all of them say things like, we really care about you. Those people that speak out about us, they don't care about you. We care about you. But if you're not loyal to Ash, then you can just get out. You're nothing to us. You don't mean anything. Right? Right? I'm just saying, that's a little bit weird. And here is like even more pressure that he's putting on Chris. Which is not really nice to do when Chris is trying to recoup in the hospital. Like, could you maybe not just constantly do live streams talking about how badly you need him on the live stream with you? Like, Onpassive isn't going anywhere. It's literally not going anywhere. Nothing's happening. They're not doing it. It's not going anywhere. You could have taken a few days off from these webinars if it was really all that hard for you. And let Chris recoup. And then did webinars when he was better. And you probably wouldn't have missed a thing. And if you did miss it, you could have just had Red on, and Red would have given you all the week's recaps. So then it would have been good. You make this, you put this on yourself. You've decided yourselves to do these daily webinars. Right? Because Ash doesn't tell you to do these. Does he? You're both not completely obligated to do these for real, right?
I enjoy smacking him around verbally. Is it right? No. Is it an evil thing to do? Yeah, a little bit. I enjoy it too much. Everybody has their crutch in life. The truth is, I love Chris Johnson. I can kid with Chris. We mess with each other. But if somebody else did,
How much do you love him? Are you guys have a little secret affair on the side?
and we're in distance where I can take this claw and grab you, I'll probably squeeze the life out of you. It's okay for me to do it. I don't like other people doing it.
Okay.
I'm joking anyway. He's a good guy. And instead of me trying to give you an update on him, I think I got a better idea. How about if we, by the way, I am magical because I own a unicorn. So presto changeo, there he is. You see what I'm talking about? He didn't even know he was coming on. Cameras in his face. He's not ready. He's wearing his sexy uniform.
And I got the nurse.
He didn't know he was coming on? That's a bit bizarre.
Here who's going to give me shots and pills, so we're good. Looks all perfect out for us. How's everyone doing? Update on me. I'm doing the best I can. Lost my lung again the day before, which it's almost back again. I'm breathing pretty good. That was a little scary, but it's normal. A lot of people called me. Jeffrey Morlock said this happened to him years ago.
Yeah, they definitely get AdSense for their videos. They're getting ads when I don't download them. That's why, if you're wondering, we don't have ads when I watch them. I download them. But if you watch it on their channel, they do have ads on them. And they'd be making like a few hundred a month, at least, on ads. Probably, I don't know, like 4 to 5, if I had to guess. Based on like just how many views they get and how they stream pretty much like every single day. Like minimum though. Probably more than that. But Albs is right that their super chat stuff has not been as much as it used to. It's dried up a little bit. Not completely. They still do get like the odd one here and there, and when they usually do get one, it will be like $10 or $20. Like often enough. But compared to before, there was a time where like they were getting super chats constantly. And then Ash would show up and drop them like $200. I'm starting to wonder if Ash is paying them to do this, though. And no, we don't judge. I didn't mean it to say anything negative about people that are gay. I'm bisexual myself. I was just joking because he said he loved him so much. And I was just like, how much? I don't know. No, Joe, I'm not telling you both. No, I'm just joking. I know you're saying that about something. Takara says, skip the ads, but you're sure that the Onpassive sheep don't. I honestly don't know if skipping the ads does anything or not. I don't know if that makes it so that you get more money. Really? I remember I used to think that, but I don't know now. I don't know. YouTube is a weird place, but they definitely get their AdSense. Red used to get $1 a day from Colonel Daniel Lee, and I don't think he's been getting that in a really long time. Well, hopefully that person has moved on. Right? Has any founders come to you to ridden their spell? Yes. I have. I'm talking to a couple of people in private that do not want to be named. They have a foot out the door, but we're still working on it.
And just a process you got to go through sometimes. So,
and I also want to be make it known that Chris Johnson also has a fabulous brother that has never once really talked smack on him for being in this thing. That also very, very much cares about him and is worried about his well-being, and also worried about the fact that he felt the need to be on a webinar while he was in the hospital, because nobody should ever feel obligated for that. And now I'm a little worried because the way it was put here, it sounded like Chris didn't even know. And I find that kind of mean. I just find it kind of mean. Don't do that to somebody. They're looking to join the secret order of the Sayers of Nay. Yeah, like I'm willing to take anyone from there. Even if they just have a question and they're like, listen, I'm a part of Onpassive. I'm going to these webinars. I'm doing everything they're telling me to do, and nothing's happening. Do you know what's going on? I'll answer you. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to be mean. You don't come at me mean. I'm very, very nice. But if you come at me mean and you're like Ali and you come in here and call everyone names and start writing mean comments all over my stuff, then we might not be so nice to you. But if you just have questions, just because you need an answer. Sometimes you just need a fucking answer to a question from one of these people and you can't even get it. Do know that you can always come to myself and the Recovering Hunbot in private. Our socials as well as our emails are on our channels. And we would never ever judge you as a bad person for being a part of it. And if you ever need help leaving, we are here for that as well. And you don't have to worry about anything like that. And they don't have to know. If you're scared because they've threatened and they've told people to spy on people, so you might be too scared to comment in the live stream chats, we get it. I've left 2 MLMs. the recovering Hunbots left an MLM and was also a part of the trainings for them. So she also had to kind of walk away from that whole industry, which is a whole other thing on its own. So we have experience. And I remember what it was like to be in it, which is why I do this. Because I can't imagine being like I was when I was in an MLM and then being in this one and having them treat me like this. I would be like real pissed, okay? Like they're lucky I'm not no founder. Let's just say that. I would have made their lives hell as one. They think I'm being me now. Okay? So, yeah. I understand because they do threaten. And they tell them that they'll delete their accounts and stuff. And maybe you just have a question that you want answered and you're not ready yet to come out publicly and be like, I left this thing. Makes sense. We can work on that. Hit me up.
I'm not worried about it. Just extends my stay at the hospital a little bit longer. This is not stuff I want to do. If you read the notes,
my main thing is speaking out about groups of people that do culty behaviors, groups of people that do fair gaming of people, groups of people that attack people when they leave their communities, that kind of thing. That's what I specialize in.
A week ago Wednesday, Ash had called me and told me to say some pretty powerful things.
Okay, now this is also bizarre that happens here. Is they all start kind of hitting on Chris in the gown, and yeah, it's fine. I mean, his only girlfriend is his dog, so whatever, right? But you still have to kind of look at this from the standpoint of they're in an MLM cult together, and he's being sexualized. Okay, listen, I'll say it. If it was a woman up there in a hospital gown being sexualized, we would not like it. So if it's a man up there in a hospital gown being sexualized by a bunch of thirsty middle-aged women, you should be equally as upset. It's kind of gross. And I don't like it. Hello, peaceful nature. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful night. Not as often as I would like, Jelly. Not as often as I would like. But we've had a few. Now Marty is telling not to repost webinars right away so he can edit them first. They are manipulating information, another sign of a cult. It's actually even in the affiliate agreement. If you watch the video that I did on that, they actually say in there that everything has to be approved first for Onpassive. So Marty, I guess, is the person that they've decided would do this approving for right now. And all MLMs do this, by the way. They all have marketing materials. Okay? And if you use stuff outside of their marketing materials, you can often get in trouble by the compliance of that MLM. It's usually to keep things legal because the MLMs will make sure that the marketing materials don't have any mention of income and all of that, right? Like no medical income claims, any of those. Can't have those claims, right? So they usually do it to follow the regulatory agencies that we have, like the Better Business Bureau, the FTC, blah, 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 right? And that we usually semi-appreciate, although it also is seen as information control, part of the BITE model. It's the I, right? Information control. It is a part of that. we can at least appreciate it in the sense that it's usually done in the way that, like I said, they're trying to follow the rules. So we're like, okay, we don't really like the information control you guys are still doing, but you kind of met us halfway. Like, fuck, we'll take what we can get, okay? Anti-MLM is reasonably new as an actual movement that has changed laws and stuff. It's really only been happening in the last 5-6 years that's been going on. Before that, they were allowed to basically do whatever the fuck they wanted. In this case, you are correct that it's a little bit different. So in this case, instead of them providing certain logos that they're told that they have to put on stuff and disclaimers that they're told that they have to use, like usually whenever you talk about income in an MLM, you have to do a little disclaimer or post one up, and they usually give you a template for this, right? A copy and pasta, if you will, for all of this. Like I said, it's usually to follow the rules. Here, though, they tell you to make your own stuff. They don't have any of that stuff, really. I mean, you could get the logo from them, I believe. They have, like, you can download a logo from them, but that's all you can get. And they want you to, like, send it into them first. So it's a whole other level of that, right? It is a little bit worse in this sense. It's solely for information control. So they're not doing it to follow the laws. Because they barely ever mention that, right? All part of the cult of the Queen of Karma. Kind of like many groups in the Catholic Church. There's the secret order of the Sayers of Nay. The Knights are the militant arm of them. Yes, there we go. I'm the cult runner. You'd be surprised how many times I've actually been accused of running a cult. By the way, I'm not joking. I actually have videos made on me of people telling me that I'm a cult leader. It's great fun out here. I love YouTube.
And I'm excited about those things. Yeah. And really, I want to thank everyone who's not bothering me. I told them send them all to Red and Marty, and they'll take care of those complaints, which is real nice for me. But I want to thank Manu Miller. She sent me balloons, flowers. Actually, the nurse in here, she's got a little girl, 3 years old, and I said, why don't you take some of those balloons home for your daughter? And her daughter loved them. So, Manu, you took care of a couple other people. You want to give me a shot first?
I gave somebody balloons to give to their kid, so I'm helping people. And then I came on a live stream and bragged about it, essentially erasing anything good that came from it, so that I could get a pat on the back and look like really good, so that I can manipulate people into a scam. Yeah, no, lovely, Chris. Wonderful job.
Whatever you want to do. You want to say hi? Stick your head in there and just say hi to everybody. Say hi.
Hello.
There you go.
Hey, hello.
So
Tell
she's
her
got
there's only, tell her there's only 520 people here.
I told her. times 30 more zeros. Hold on.
Yeah.
She's giving me the good drugs now. So little Motrins and what's this one called again?
Well, this is just the love enough.
The back of the arm is horrible. So you guys get to witness it. This is me. Ow, see, that's not bad. She gives a good shot. So are you going to give me the magic yet, or is that for later?
Later.
Yeah, she gives me the magic. I'll be going up and sleeping here. So.
Ask her if she could send some my way too. I love magic.
Yep. Marty wants those magic drugs toward him. So, but I'm being well taken care of here.
See, the other thing too, if he is highly medicated, maybe just don't go on live stream. It's a great idea. Just saying.
For some reasons, I freeze at night, and I don't know why we haven't figured that out yet, but could be just because of what I'm going through. I'm moving a lot better. I just took a nice little walk.
They also actually make it colder in the hospital at night because studies say, allegedly, that if you sleep in cooler weather, it's like better for you. I don't know. That's what they say.
My breath is slowly catching back. You'll see me gas there for a minute, but I'm doing good. Pain level is really good until I cough or sneeze, and I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. Anyone that broke the ribs before, when you cough or sneeze, it's amazing. It hurts.
It's
I'm not gonna deny it's
excruciating.
a pain. It's a pain that I'm not looking forward to for the next couple months. So, I want to say Minnow sent me this really cool flower arrangement and thing. And Mattel Smart sent me a card. My cousin got me a gnome. Someone else sent me something. And I opened this card up from Minnow, and it was cool. I opened it up, and it was a
Right, like
picture of Minnow and a
hospitals are usually cold, and then you're in those gowns which like don't even cover you, and then you might be lucky to have like a sheet and an extra blanket on top of like the blanket they give you. Usually it's pretty cold in the hospital. I haven't been to one really since my daughter was born for like overnight. I haven't been at all since my daughter was born, but I remember sleeping at the hospital 10 years ago, and it was fucking freezing every night.
QR code to scan this for your message. I clicked on it, and here she left this beautiful message in a live video. And I just thought, man, this is something I wish back in the day I had, because you can't really write your feelings. A lot of people have trouble writing down what they feel, and she left me this beautiful message, and I'm love that's the world we're stepping into. Onpassive is going to create so many things like that, and people say, Chris, what are you crazy? You should be rested. Listen, I'm resting. I'm resting so much that my butt hurts. Okay, I'm addicted to Onpassive. If I had
Oh, well, that might be true. Might be true. You could be definitely addicted to the dopamine you get from all of the love from all of the people for being a part of this. That's for sure. Alb said, I've only had stitches and x-rays since I was 10. Haven't spent a night in the hospital in almost 40 years. Yeah, I only really gave birth to my daughter. And then I believe, like, the last time that I spent the night in the hospital before that would have been when I almost died when I was 9 of pneumonia. And my parents were told to plan my funeral. Great fun. That's what happens when you get pneumonia and you have, like, other health issues. It's great fun.
my last breath, I'll be talking about Onpassive. Don't knock me. Don't get mad at me.
I already have like issues with my lungs and breathing and all this kind of stuff. So when I got pneumonia, it was the kind that like fills your lungs up with like a lot of fluid. Like I was fucked up. Like, my parents were literally told like, you need to start calling the family members and getting them here. My mom told me back then it was like 6 of the worst days of her life. They ended up having me all right and out of there within a week. But I spent my 9th birthday thinking I was going to die.
I believe in this company that much where I'm not going to stop.
Really? Why?
My journey will go on as soon as I get out of this hospital. It'll take me a couple weeks, actually.
That's weird.
To get adjusted to the rib pain.
I'll look into it, Chris. It shouldn't be. I'll definitely look into it, though. Because I wouldn't have blocked it. I don't think anyone else would.
But I'm still going on. I'm not stopping. This isn't going to stop me. And I'll give you an example about what Marty was talking about. This is, of course, I'm loopy.
It honestly might be the Google bot. Sometimes they don't ban you from my chat or like block, but sometimes they don't let certain accounts post. I've noticed because that's happened to me in chats before where I've written a message and it hasn't shown up. And then I was like, what the heck? And I had to switch like 4 different messages before it would let it go through. It was really weird. Your Chris McNair one is blocked on Alonda's channel? Huh. That's weird. Yeah, well, I'll have to look into that. Let
right
her
now,
know
so
that.
excuse me. The other day when my lung collapsed again. All right, so the doctor come in. I said, all right, what do we got to do now? Yeah, we're just going to go back to the original process, turn on the machine, let it do its thing, we'll wait a day, and then we'll.
For over a year. Jesus. Wow. I don't know. It has to be Google, because I know that, like, I'm not going to block you. She's definitely not going to block you either. She, like, hardly ever blocks people, so I'm kind of like that when we have pretty much the same mods. We don't really have rogue mods over here. So I'll have to look at that. No, Joe, I don't think you would have done that. You haven't had to block someone in here for a while. So he was literally like using it in here just not that long ago. I saw it in here. And you haven't had to block someone in here for quite a bit now. Funny how that happens, eh? When you detach from certain people, all the trolls disappear. It's great.
Reverse the machine. That's what it does. Same with Onpassive. Ask before I might come across. Give us a date, which none of us actually. Me and Marty, right?
I know who you are, Chris. I know who you are. Chris is like, I'm CD Rome over there. And then I'm Chris McNair over here. But like your CD one was literally in my chat. Like I swear to God, like 3 streams ago, I swear. Like you should be fine here. That one wouldn't have gotten blocked.
But when he does give a date, you guys hold it to him.
That's weird.
And I don't like that. I wish nobody would hold anything against the guy.
Hey, do you use them in the Onpassive chat? Because honestly, sometimes if you're in like an Onpassive chat and you say something and then they report your comments, then it's almost like then your account can get fucked over sometimes. It could have been that as well. If you've used these accounts to like comment in their live streams and ask questions, and then you had your account reported or your comment reported, sometimes Google is just fucking an asshole, and then it's almost like you won't show up on here anymore. Yeah, by mistake. But yeah, you used them on Chris today, but they didn't show up. I'm wondering if they might have reported it. He probably blocked you, though. I know Marty blocked me on Twitter because her ex, whatever it's called now. Jesus, Elon. Fuck. No, on Twitter, he blocked me because I went in there and said a couple things. And, like, they know me. So that as soon as I show up, they're like, bye.
He's got enough stuff going on. And all he's doing is just like when my lung collapsed, he's just resetting the process and just starting over, not from scratch. He's just starting over from the process where maybe they've seen something wrong. You guys really don't understand this pay structure, how big it is. You're talking about.
It's not that big. It's 100% commission, right? Let's just talk about the payment for a minute, because this is really bothering me. They keep saying that they have this amazing compensation plan. It's 25%, okay? That's Beachbody's compensation plan. That's Sensi's compensation plan. That's Monet's compensation plan. I'll tell you, most of the MLMs have a compensation plan of 20 to 25%. Okay? This pay structure and the way it works out is in straight lines. Okay? Their pyramid isn't a pyramid. It's one line and then another line underneath it. Because now they're just trying to basically go straight pyramid scheme, I guess. And it doesn't make any fucking sense, all right? They don't have a merchant, so even if it was working, nobody could get a payment. Okay, like nothing would be going into their wallets, and there's no way to pull money out of your wallet. They have 2 wallets. One they call a withdrawable, which try to say that for me is very, very hard with my speech impediment. I got enough trouble out here. I think they're just doing this to fuck with me now. Withdrawable. The other one is non-withdrawable. Why is it like that? Because you have to own the product yourself and be using it, have a subscription to it in order to make withdrawable money that you can actually take out and make into US dollars. The money they're using within there is Ocoin. It's not actual money. It's not even a cryptocurrency. It is literally just a credit within OES. It's not on an exchange. It's not a part of the stock market. It is not a part of the mint here. It is not a part of anything. It is literally just numbers on a screen. And the scary thing about it, guys, is that just like with a fake blockchain, Ash can just go in there and do whatever he wants and change whatever numbers he wants. He could go in there and put 500 million Ocoin into your account right now. But he won't. Hopefully. Fuck around with the numbers. I don't know. But that's iffy. I just don't like that that can be done. It's basically like if you guys watched that Eli Regalato scam video that I did with the index coin where it wasn't on an exchange, that's like Ocoin. There is no way right now for them to turn the Ocoin into US dollars. So like nothing with their payment, anything, their whole pay structure, how this thing's supposed to go, what they're supposed to get paid, all of it is very, very messy. Very, very messy. And none of it is set up properly. And like I keep saying, Ash had 5 fucking years to figure this shit out. Like, what has he been doing? Did he not think that he would need a merchant to pay people out? How do you become the CEO of a company and you don't actually think that you need a merchant to pay people or to receive the payments for your products? See, that's the thing. Maybe he wasn't thinking about how to pay out, but you would think that the asshole was thinking about how mass amounts of people would pay in. There was a time where he was accepting payment via cryptocurrencies. So maybe at that time he was like, I don't really need a merchant or whatever. But then the second you start taking like money off of people, you should probably be getting that into order. That was 5 years ago. We are fucking 5 years later and they're like, yeah, we still don't know like how this is going to work out or how anyone's getting paid or anything like that. It's just like, I don't understand. What the fuck has he been doing? All these meetings he's in. And then the last time we heard them talk about this on my channel, they were talking about how all these problems are because these lawyers have to go through and figure out what's legal. Again, why haven't they been doing this already? There's really no excuse. This whole payment structure is a disaster. I have no clue how it's going to work because the way they explain it is they're all in a straight line underneath Ash on this thing as O-founders. They're all equals. There's like 800,000 of them. So 800,000 just in a line. And then they claim that the traffic after that, right, would be allocated. All right. So then that means that they were going to be putting them all underneath. And the way that they talk about it, all those people are all going to be on the same level. They haven't spoken past those levels. So I don't know if they're expecting like to do this in rounds. It sounded like that for a little bit. And then they would keep adding a level on as it goes on, I guess, to get the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? But they haven't even planned past that. They haven't thought about the next line of traffic that would be allocated after that second line underneath them. So everything's still up in the air. This is the furthest they've explained it. And I cannot blame anyone who is in this thing at all for being real fucking confused, not understanding a word of it, and wondering how this is all going to like work out. Because I think it sounds okay in theory when you're just talking about it, but then it actually happening is a whole other bag, as we know, right? That's literally the problem here. Ash does a lot of talking, but then executing it turns into something else. And that's the issue with this payment structure, payment plan, and everything to do with everything along the lines of it, is that once it's executed, I don't know how it's going to really work out. Like, it still sounds, it's set up to fail, as all MLMs are. The only people that would be making money is the people at the top in terms of the very first people that signed up. So it's all very, very bizarre. And honestly, I'm getting really sick of them talking down to the people that are a part of this for not understanding it. Because MLMs are known for having these crazy pay structures like this and crazy charts to explain. God, when I was in It Works, have you ever seen the full It Works chart? Go look up Double Diamond at It Works and see the damn chart that pops up. Okay? It looks a mess. Like, you're like, what the fuck? It's all these different people underneath people, and they're all at different levels, and you need this many people at this level, and they need this many people at that level in order for you to get to this level. And it's like, it's torture. I remember trying to explain it to people when I was a part of the company, and I'd have to do it like a section at a time. And that actually helped me break out of some of my cognitive dissonance, because it was like, why is this so hard to explain to people? It shouldn't be like this, damn it. So, I don't know, guys. Even when they talk about it, it still doesn't make sense. Eli's wife needs to start an OnlyFans to make the money back, just saying, for a friend. Yeah, she's a very pretty woman. It's just too bad that she got saved by him and then ended up manipulated by him. He's not an ugly looking dude, though, so I think I can understand what happened there, especially if he saved her, right? That's a connection. The two merchants that have frozen the money, they have to keep $400 extra for every $143 payment, exactly, in case that person does a chargeback through their credit card. And they have had chargebacks. And they've been flipping out about them. And this is why they've been flipping out about them. There's also an extra fee in order for them to pull out money on top of that, which I'm thinking some of that needs to go to as well. There also are, one was through Mexico, and they also tax all international people extra for using them. If you do business in Mexico, they charge you a tax if you're not in Mexico. So they would have also had to pay that on top of it. So, it's not even worth it at a certain point if you're only getting $97 in return. And then you have to pay what was it? It was like $17 or something for that in order to get your money out. It's like, what? It's just, you end up paying almost as much to take out your money as you're getting paid after a little while. And that's not good.
Millions and millions of dollars. And none of you, including myself, including Marty, including Red.
Yeah, it's like, whose line is it anyway? Where the lines are made up and the points don't matter, right? A straight line, but that won't ever work, will it? No, and trust me, okay? Me and my little autistic brain has sat here for many, many hours with charts trying to make it work for hours. Okay, so they say it's going to happen like this, like listening to them with charts in front of me, ready to like, draw it out and have it work. And like with optimism that it would work. And there's no way, you can't make it work if you try. You can't. I tried to make it work and it would not work. Okay. There is no way. This is what I'm saying. It sounds like a great idea in theory when they're all talking about it to each other, but the execution of it really is not going to work, especially if they all want to make commission. Because if you're only in 2 lines, then the people underneath you, how are they making commission? Well, we need a 3rd line then. And then we need a 4th line. Now we're just making a pyramid like all the other MLMs. So then what's the difference, really? Are we just describing it different? You see what I mean? Are we just given a bit at a time so that it doesn't sound so MLM pyramid schemey? Like, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Because that's about the only way that it makes sense, I promise. Is if they're only giving it to us like a little bit at a time, and then they're going to sort of walk us through the process of growing their pyramid scheme, if you will. Joe, thank you for being a member for 33 months. The extra money comes out of Ash's wife's spa money, so Ash isn't happy. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's true.
Julie, all of us, Robin, Michael, we don't even know about the millions and millions of dollars that's going to be circulated to the founders. Okay. And this is
You mean like going into Ash's pocket?
really a big process. When you're playing around or paying people money, it's got to be perfect.
When you're playing around or paying people money? We're not playing Monopoly, okay? These people want their money.
I said before, I think a couple weeks ago, that I used to have to deal with that payroll issue. And boy, you make one mistake, and you're going to get someone yelling at you. Ash Mafara does not want to make any mistakes. He's already dealt with a bunch of stuff in the process in the last month.
Again, because of himself. I don't even know why they talk about this, like how they're doing right now. It bothers me. I'm like, again, this is his fault. It's not their fault. It's his fault. He put himself in this position. Once again, it's like when he promises them something and then he doesn't do it when he says he's going to. And then they're like asking him when he is going to do it. And then he goes, oh my God, I don't know why people would be asking me that. It's like, what do you mean? Like, of course they're going to be wondering. Like, why is that so hard for you to realize,
To get this going. He's very confident from what I saw last Wednesday. And when I talked to him on the phone, he's very, very confident. In the past,
yeah, it's very easy for a narc to be confident and stay calm in stressful situations. All right, if someone's freaking out in a stressful situation, they're probably not a narc. Just so you know. Because a narc stays cool and calm in all stressful situations because they don't actually feel stress. Right? They have a disconnect to their emotions, and especially their stressful ones, right? They have nothing to worry about. They're often not worried about anything, so they can stay cool, calm, and collected. Come on, dude. Come on. Thank you, Alps, for being a member for 12 months. 1 year of worshiping the Queen. That's right.
I can hear when he was talking, he sounded a little, now I don't ever hear that now. He sounds 100% it's on. That's what I'm hearing in his voice. Chris, we're ready to go, go, go. And I know a lot of people are ready to go, go, go. Just be patient a little bit longer. There's no one, and I can contest to this. People say, oh, you guys are getting, no.
This comment is hilarious. It's from Facebook user. Onpassive is the new kid on the block. Step by step. Sorry, I can't say New Kid on the Block without breaking into that song, okay? And we are a big target with the competition. You guys know how this works. They're nervous. They're nervous. So they will and are going to say fake news about us. But you have to stand firm and believe in the fact that hashtag Onpassive is real. Yep. We're nervous. We're nervous and we're spreading fake news. And then I'm like, Ali?
No, I think he did random. Matter of fact, I think he told us, Marty, correct me around that he was going to start from the lowest people, who maybe had one or two people, on their team.
Who cares if he's confident? That has nothing to do with it. Exactly. It's like they use that as if to say that like everything's fine because he's confident. Well, sorry to burst their bubble. Sorry to burst their bubble. But the biggest job of sociopaths and narcs is being a CEO. This one seems pretty damn narky. He wants to be praised like he's Jesus. I would consider that to be a narc. And like I said, people that actually have that personality disorder or narcissism, they can usually stay calm in stressful situations. Disconnect from their emotions gives them the ability to do that. So, of course, Ash, even if things are on fire all around him, would probably be able to sound confident. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not flipping out a little bit on the inside, but usually they're just worried about getting caught, right? Right? Ash is confident that he's going to win this SEC lawsuit. He thinks that he has outsmarted everyone. He's one of those narcs that thinks he's the smartest person, not just in the room, but in the whole world. God sent him from heaven, so of course. So he really does think he has this in the bag, right? And that's about the only thing that I think would probably shake him. Is if something happened that really made him think that he no longer had it in the bag, right? Until that happens, he's going to be able to be as cool as a cucumber for things in his Ash way, I guess you could say.
And then work it up from there. He doesn't have favorites, and he's just doing it as fair as he possibly can. And I think that's what I love about Ash Mafara. He does do it as fair as he can. Now, look at me. I haven't shaven in 4 days. Definitely haven't taken a shower. I'm stubby. And people say, why are you turning your camera on? Because I don't want you to see me. I want you to hear me when I'm talking about. All right. Ash Mafara.
This right here. If they have only 1 or 2 people on their team, there's nothing to pay them. They need at least 5 under them just to break even. In order for them to make money in this thing, they're going to need to have about 20 people under them to make even just like $1,000 a month. On one of my live streams, we did get into the math of it, and that's what we had come to the conclusion of, that unless you signed up 15 to 20 people underneath you every month in this thing, there is no way to get your generational wealth as promised. As is the case in MLMs, right? And that's the thing. They can say they're not an MLM all they want and try to find all the loopholes they want from being one. But at the end of the day, if it looks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
Mafara gave me this platform to talk about something that he believed in a long time ago. And he didn't have to make me believe it. I seen what it was doing.
Or it might just be someone on StreamYard,
Today I talked to a couple nurses in here from Haiti. They're talking about things in their country and what you could do to help. Just let them know a little bit about Onpassive, what we're trying to do, what we're going to do. and she has a big smile on her face. Lit up.
Well, they do have a comp plan now. It is 100% on the first sale, and after that, it's 25% on all future sales. Which they say is the best comp plan in all of MLMs. But, like I keep saying, Beachbody has 25%, Monet's is also 25%, Sensi's is 25%, Amway's, by the way, is also 25%, if you were wondering. Pretty much all the MLMs are 20, 25. You might have a few out there that actually do 30, in which case they'd be better than this one, by the way. I'm just pointing that out. They only get paid $31.25 per sale, 5 equals $125, 10 is $250, and etc. And yeah, it's supposed to be each month sales because it's supposed to pay for your subscription. Which again, then are you making money off of that? Not really, because then it just goes right back in Ash's pocket. Right? No one's thinking about that. No one takes a minute to be like, but wait a minute, then you're not really doing much for me. Basically, if you sell this thing, you have the chance of getting free products with your commission. And I'm like, yeah, that's like, again, every other fucking MLM in existence. Like, you're not doing anything special, you know? Well, they can say it's the best comp plan, but these are the folks who can't figure out the number of countries in the world. True. That was one of the first memes I got to do after the login issues. It was, how many countries do we have in the world? If it's after each re-up, you just need one steady person who also has one person who also has one. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say, like, I don't see how this is going to work just in 2 straight lines. Like, eventually you need a 3rd layer, and then a 4th layer, and then a 5th layer. Then we have a pyramid scheme. Because I do think that they're only paying you out of the sales that they make, right? Right? There's 220 countries. There's 2,250 countries, okay? I need to ask the flat earthers later on Twitter how many countries there are. Now I'm just wondering how many they think there are.
Listen, guys, I tell you this.
That's basically all I do on Twitter all day is argue flat earthers and like really extremist religious people and mega.
There's a lot of this world that doesn't know anything about a passive yet. And just the fact that when you talk to people about bless, our learning, what I call our learning educational helper, they're like, wow, you really got that? Yeah, we got that. And that's the mindset change right there. So all those countries, I said, it's sad in this day and age that we still have people walking in your country miles to get clean water shoes. You're not kidding there. Listen, guys, we're not just telling you stories to make your heart bleed. This is actual stories that are happening around the world. This is the stuff that Ash Mafara saw in his earlier travels about getting out of his car and seeing a kid with no shoes. Seeing a kid with no shoes doesn't even compare to some of the things that are really going on in this world. But if you got to walk, just like Papua New Guinea, they got to walk for miles to get to schools.
How do you say this? How do you say this about Papua New Guinea? And like, know that you're fucking them over with the scam while you're saying this. Sometimes I just want to jump into one of these guys' brains and just poke around a little bit, Like, I really need to understand, because I really don't understand how you could do this. Like, it really takes some balls that I just do not have. I could never, ever sit up on a live stream in front of thousands of people and promise to help people that I know are that less off than me. Like, that sickens me. I need to know how you can sit here and do that and then still sleep at night. Okay, because you're literally about to go on a big speech about how people in Papua New Guinea, like, they barely don't even have vehicles there. There's lots of places that in that area that don't even have running clean water. And then you're like, join this pyramid scheme, give us $97 US, which is like 3 months worth of pay for you, and then let us lie to you for 5 years. Like, I need to know these things. Sociopathy really, really interests me. I'm starting to wonder about you, Chris.
They got to walk to miles to get fresh water. They got to drill to get fresh water. You and I, we turn on a faucet. We do take advantage as much as I.
Yeah, and do you know what? For 5 years now, Ash has promised those people that he's going to build water filtration systems in their area. And where are they, Chris? Thanks for bringing that up and reminding me. It's been a couple streams since I brought that up. Probably, I don't know. I probably bring it up in every single one because it really pisses me off. Like, I don't know how you can promise a community something like that and then just, like, keep stringing them along and not doing it like this. Even Mr. Beast has gotten people water before Ash Mufara did. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, what is he doing? Get on that. It's almost sick that you would bring that up, knowing that your ass has promised these people the water filtration systems there, like, for the last 5 years and have yet to deliver one. Not even one made. $108 million in Ash Mufara's pocket, and that asshole couldn't even build a water filtration system. Do you know how much of your money it takes to build a water filtration system there? Like a few $100, Chris. A few $100. That's it. Not even $1,000. You couldn't even put $1,000 to help the people in Papua New Guinea. But you all care about them oh so much, right? They're your brothers, they're your sisters. You have no problem bringing up their struggles to use them for emotional manipulation on your live streams like you're doing right now. Why don't you fork over a couple $100 then and get them one of their water filtration systems? Huh? Ash isn't gonna.
I can't stand being in here right now. I am blessed beyond what I.
Yeah, Chris, you being in the hospital is definitely the same as people living in Papua New Guinea having to give you 3 months pay to be in this thing, being told they get data centers and water filtration systems, not getting any of that, not having shoes and having to walk to school. Oh yeah, no, you definitely have the same struggle here. Yeah.
I can bear, because there's someone right now that fell just like me, broke their ribs, popped a lung. They don't have a facility they can go into. They got to just deal with it the very hard way. And that's something that since being in here and before, I really want to change that. I believe healthcare has been an issue in this world for many, many years. And I think there's enough funds in this world that everyone could have healthcare if we do it right.
Well, I mean, Ash had $108 million he could have put towards all of you guys being covered. Right? Since you all care about healthcare so much all of a sudden, right? Is he going to be helping you pay for the bill for your hospital visit? I mean, he was kind of helping you fund this trip that you were taking, which you injured yourself while you're traveling on this Onpassive road trip, right? So, is Ash going to help you with that? He had $108 million, so should be able to, right? He's collecting those O-Connect payments again. Some of that going to your hospital bill?
Right. The problem is we never have someone that wants to do it right. And I really believe Ash Mufara and his extremely brilliant people that he surrounds himself with will come up with something. That's my opinion. I'm not putting any words in anyone's mouth. I just think that from what I know of him, he really does want to fix everything that he can, one person at a time, one day at a time. And that's why I love this company. That's why I'm in a row, beat up, unshaved, barely breathing, off and on. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me because I love doing this. And I need you to understand.
Yeah, but again, you may love doing it, but I do feel like not really a fair obligation. Only in MLMs will you see people stream from a hospital bed to be at their MLM live streams or try to sell their products or whatever and flex it like it's a good thing. Time freedom. Right, Chris? You got time freedom, huh?
Understand that. Don't get mad at anybody. This is my choice to come on here and talk about this company because I believe in it that much. Being in this hospital, I've seen all kinds of things that I think I can improve with Onpassive, and I think that's going to be a pretty amazing thing. And then I think about
Watch after this, all the med bed talk comes back.
all the people that have ideas out there. All you founders right now that have an idea. Maybe you never said nothing. Maybe you kept it in the back of your head, and I want you to keep it there. But know that the funds are coming where you're going to be able to start creating some of these ideas. And I hope it's for helping people. Really.
Okay, but that's the thing is that they can't just all be sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting and just thinking, oh, well, at least one day I'm going to help people because they'll starve to death, Chris.
Really, if you think about it, all we really got to do is help out the world. Help out the next person. Come on. Oh, whatever you want to do. And where are you from? In Florida? Okay. So all we got to do is help each person out. Give a hand, be respectful, be nice. And that's...
Yeah, see, Jelly says, I would be horrified if any of my coworkers joined a meeting from the hospital, right? It's like nobody else has to do this ever. It's only MLMs. And they'll be like, it's so great, guys. Look at, I can even work from my hospital bed. And you're like, what? How's that
changing
good?
the world right now. But what Ash, what he's got coming, it's going to be really, really mind-blowing. And I think it's going to happen real fast for some of the things. And I can't wait for y'all to see it. I can't wait to be a part of it. And I'm excited about it. I know people got birthdays today. I've not kept up with it. I apologize. Happy birthday. My heart is still sore from Dr. Modi passing away. He was a good guy, the storyteller. I was looking at old text messages when we used to text each other. And he never had nothing bad to say. He always had words of encouragement.
Yeah, Dr. Modi. I keep saying his name wrong. I can't say this dude's name. I'm so sorry. Dr. Modi. He passed away. I think we've already discussed that a little bit. So, another person lost, waiting for their payment and for the launch of Onpassive. Another soldier fallen.
He wasn't revengeful. Marty said this morning he's the kind of guy that if people acted like him, there'd never be a war in this world. And I
really hope that this poor man is remembered by friends and family as somebody besides just some dude that was a part of Onpassive. Like, I'm sure he has more of a legacy than that, you know?
I believe that. I do reach out to the Modi family. I wasn't able to get into that meeting yesterday. I apologize. I was a little strapped here, literally. And I want to thank everyone that did and supported Dr. Modi. But that doesn't mean we forget about him. What we got to do is carry on what Dr. Modi did. Dr. Modi was a holistic doctor. He fixed a lot of people in Onpassive through his breathing techniques. I remember that very well. He's not forgotten. He never will be forgotten. But life is life and things happen like that. So keep a positive mind. I'm going to keep trying to do. Today it was 4 o'clock in the morning. They did x-rays, so I was able to get on here. Usually it's at this time when they're doing x-rays on here. Hopefully I'll be out in a couple days. My daughter is scheduled to fly down here on the 23rd. I know I have Key Wendell wants to come down here. He's got a trip planned, and couple other people want to come down in here and visit. I'd rather you just not, because I'm a scrub right now, as you can see. Let me get out of here and get showered up and cleaned up, and then I'll see everybody. So, but I think that's all I got, Marty. But ask Mafara, Muhammad Nazel, and Muhammad Kamel all left me amazing messages that made me feel real good. I talked to Ash for an hour, which, again, I'll repeat, he made me laugh 4 times, which is absolutely.
Did you hear that? I talked to Ash for an hour and he made me laugh 4 times. Hey guys, how many times have I made you laugh during this live stream? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how the fuck? I don't fucking know, Queen. Or you're thinking 0 because you hate me, and you're watching me because you hate me. But you're probably thinking, I'm not counting, right? Right? You're like, I don't normally count how many times people make me laugh either. That's bizarre. And it goes to show you again, like, just making him laugh is something that we're praising now. Oh my God, guys, I talked to Ash for an hour. He made me laugh 4 times. You know? Yeah, but if I had broken ribs, it might matter more. Yeah, I don't know if this is the only reason why he would be counting it, though. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It's supposed to be a flex. I don't count, I just laugh. Yeah, no, most people I don't think keep track of it. Whether in pain or not, very strange. Very strange. But the way that he brings it up, too, is like it's this crazy, fabulous thing that Ash made him laugh that much. And it just goes to show you, like, Ash does the smallest thing. Oh my God, Ash smiled at me when I was watching his webinar. He said hello to me when I was in the chat, and they act like, literally, Jesus came back from the dead, gave their family $1 million, and kissed them on the forehead. Like, that's what it's like. It's like, no. Like, what? Why would you even keep track of how often you laugh, you know? Ash made me laugh when he said that everyone is going to get paid, right? Yeah, I'm not laughing today, though. I'm starting to get a little bit peeved off with them putting it on the friggin' O-founders again, which we knew they would do, but it's so frustrating.
The worst thing you can do, and he knew it. I said to him,
Did
me
he,
and DeGarmo, we're writing a book on the things that nobody knows what you actually do. And I can't wait for you guys to see that book. We've been privileged and honored to do some things for him and know some things that he's done that would blow all you away. Does he want people to know that? No, not now. Later, we do.
Okay.
You know, and we put in chapter 4, Ash Mafara made laugh 4 times when he knew his ribs were broken. So we got him. But
we're writing a book about Ash? Oh, I will definitely do a book review if we're writing a book about Ash, and it's by Marty Johnson here. Oh, where's Waldo? But it's actually, where's Marty's Johnson?
I'm so appreciative of him, Dr. Susan, Professor Susan.
I'm hoping they're being sarcastic.
And I told him again, yes, Marty's my witness.
I'm hoping they're being sarcastic. I'm hoping that Chris got a little bit of self-awareness in that moment because he realized how weird it was that he brought up how many times someone made him laugh. So I'm hoping that he was like self-aware, making a joke. I'm writing a book about this, blah blah blah. That it would have been a good one. I want to think that, but they could also be writing a book, guys. Like, it would be a fun review. I totally do it. Like that's the thing. I'm like, I want to think he's joking, but like, if he's not joking, that would also make sense here. I could also see them writing a book about Ash and his life. I'm just saying, not off the table. now or in future. So Ash did not visit Chris in the hospital or actually see him in person while Chris was in Orlando at the hospital. No, I don't believe so. He definitely didn't see him at the hospital. I know that for a fact. I believe that we also asked Mark about that, his brother, and he said no, he never went and saw him. I don't think they met at all. But he called him for an hour and made him laugh 4 times. So I guess there's that. That's allegedly just as good to Chris, right? Write a book. Marty can't read without moving his lips. It's true. It's very true. I've actually noticed that as well. He really can't. When he reads things, he really does move his lips sometimes when he's like reading the chat. It makes it look like he's chewing.
They're worried about me. I said, listen, ask Marty. Don't you dare worry about me. Take care of what you got to do. I'm good. I'm going to heal. I'm backing you guys 100%. So let's just keep this real, keep it positive.
And see, here's the thing about this. Since we brought up Dr. Modi passing away, that would add an extra layer to this. Like they just lost somebody. And then also Chris is in the hospital. It would make them feel probably more scared for Chris than you would if you hadn't also just lost another O founder. Do you get what I'm saying? So that I feel like that also adds to this as well. You can see why maybe the O founders were a little bit more worried about Chris than maybe they would have been, had Dr. Modi not died. That being said, this week was quite the week of emotional manipulation. And these ailments and the Dr. Modi's death was very much used, like on these live streams, to prove that they cared and that they were good people and blah, 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 blah. And it's not good. But emotions would have been especially high, having just lost someone and then having someone that you know end up in the hospital. Not a fun week.
Stay calm. I'm not 100%
Yes.
yet. It's going to take me a little bit till I get back on my feet here. And then once I'm back on my feet, look out, because it's on to the next state, on to the next country, on to the next event. And we're just going to keep going on this. I love every one of you. And we're still reaching out prayers for Robin. And like I said, you can always pray for me, but I believe there's some. I have not heard from Harold Fox yet. That concerns me a little bit. I call him and his wife, no response. I know he had a big procedure done. Keep him in his prayers. Robin is going through some horrific things right now. Keep her in your prayers. Pat Parent, you know about Pat.
There it is.
David Switzer. There's a list I put on my Facebook. Please add to that list. I believe in the power of prayer. Jaden, we can't forget.
See, if they have a lot of people that are in need, it also goes into them being this really great company that wants to help humanity. See, here are all these people in need. We're all going to help all these people in need. Look at us. We're so great. Look what we're doing. Blah, 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 blah. More manipulation.
About Jane, I prefer to Garmo. He always needs prayers. Boy, he needs a lot of prayers, trust me. But his wife, Dawn, and everyone else that you could think of. But Onpassive is real. It's there. It's happening.
Yet nobody said it wasn't real. You guys just keep telling us it's real. Your slogan is like, real company, real tech, real people. Onpassive is real. Like, nobody was like, Onpassive is fake. And I think it's a real pain in the ass, if you ask me. So that's a little different. But nobody was like, oh, Onpassive isn't real. It's always been a real scam. You see? Always. But nothing's happening here, really. Again.
I myself said last week, I think this is going to be a big week. My opinion. Just from what I heard Ash say, do I hold him to it? No, because things could change in a heartbeat. But here, I'm going to give.
Well, when do you start holding Ash to it? Like, at what point do you kind of wake up and go, geez, maybe the problem is Ash because nothing's ever turning out properly over here? You know, haven't you ever heard the expression that if you continuously keep having problems with things, then maybe the problem is you? Well, in this case, it's like this company keeps having problems with everything. Maybe the real problem is Ash. Like, when do you finally kind of realize that? Like, what would have to go wrong here for you two, Chris and Marty, to kind of realize that and, like, wake up, you know? What would it take?
Give you a warning. You should all be checking your mail and your email. That's all I got to say. Check your mail and your email. What did he say? That those commission will give you a notification to your mail or your email, and then you're going to follow directions, KYC, and we'll go from there. So keep checking. All right, Marty, back to you.
Yeah, Chris, you cut out at the end there. Something about a KYC and check your emails. Both of them. Yeah, see, you need 2 emails. You need an email with OMail, and then you also need another email because OMail doesn't actually work. And the only way that they have any kind of security right now is if you give them a backup email in case you lose your password. There's no way to get these things. You lose your password, guess what? You're never getting into your OMail ever again. You're just fucked. So they made it so that you had to have that second email and that you had to use it to sign on because they were too lazy to add like a password client or too lazy to make it so that these passwords are stored so that you could like write a support ticket or do like a retrieval of your password like you can everywhere else if you forget a password. You know, they also don't have a way to reset your password. So you are just fucked. It's a good thing OMail's free, I guess. It's like, well, it kind of has to be if it works like that, you know? But I do find it interesting that they're like, oh, check both of your emails and all this. It's like, well, what? Did the payment come in? And they just didn't check their emails? Do you not think that these people aren't checking their wallets to see if the payment's in yet? Because you keep promising it's coming? Like, obviously they would be checking. Probably every day.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Claps long and all, and you still can freaking babble. Hey, that's good. Show him your, you know, Chris works out at home. Now he's got a lone workout machine. Look, show him. No,
Yeah,
that thing you were blowing. That thing you don't show him your nipples. Show him the thing you blow into.
Oh, my exerciser?
His lung exerciser.
What gets your lungs? You gotta every hour, 10 times a day. It's not hard to do, but this is actually what fills your lungs up and corrects your lung. The machine is just sucking the gook out of it. And that machine is why I can't just walk around and stuff like that. So it gets a little crazy. As soon as this tube's out, I am diving into the shower because I am desperate need of a shower. So,
hey, Chris, why don't you just ask the nurses to give you a sponge bath? Did you already try that? And then something happened and they were like, we're not doing this anymore. Like, what do you mean? Nurses can usually give you a sponge bath if you're not in the position where you can shower. Like, do you think that people that get sick and are bedridden just never wash, Chris? Like, come on. You don't blow. You suck, which is perfect for Chris.
he won't let me take a shower till these tubes are out of me.
Yeah, and I've got on this certain app here, Smeller Vision. Damn. Okay. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You had smell-o-vision. No.
Anyway, 622 people tell me people don't love Chris. 622 came
Is Ash gonna invent the smell-o-vision with his AI? Just wondering.
to see him. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all, Chris, tomorrow. If you can
Yep.
make it today, you might as well work for your. You need to work for your position here, so you got to do your live.
I know that here they're partially joking, but they're kind of not at the same time, right? Because you have to be engaged. You have to go to all the webinars. And Chris is the co-host of this one, so he definitely needs to show up. And even if someone's not saying, Chris, you have to show up for this, there's still that huge sense of obligation. And then there's still this whole you have to be loyal to Ash stuff. You know what I mean? And all of that would be weighing on Chris's shoulders. And it almost turns into a situation where you become too scared to miss out on it. And I wonder if he's kind of reached that point. And that's why he feels like so obligated to come on here, even in the hospital. Al doesn't want to smell Chris. No, he doesn't. At any time. Even after he gets out of the hospital, probably.
Where you're about to put that, but you're scaring me. You got a pouch now?
Marty, you can send me a message through my little machine. Goes into my IV, and then it comes out my eyeballs.
If I could do that, trust me, I'd send something. All right, I'll see you all, and God bless. Thank you for coming, Chris. Thanks for updating everybody. It makes it easy. And see you, everybody. Bye. Tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, Red will be on Fun Day Monday with Jane in
Michael,
and here it
20
is.
minutes.
2:00 today. Also, Mike, guys, Michael and Julie.
Michael and Julie should be 2:00. Yes. And tonight, as always, Minnow with trivia. The men need help. That's all I can say. No, we won last night, Chris.
Did you lose again?
Yeah, they're doing their trivia nights too, remember? And you have to go to all the webinars and be engaged.
Oh, we won.
Yeah. Harold Fox, if you can hear us, we need you to call me, okay?
Yeah, Harold, call somebody, please, if you hear this. Anyway, see you all.
And that's where he cut it off. So what did you guys think? I thought that was a really good showcase of the obligation, the sense of loyalty that they kind of falsely have for Ash. Marty pretty much scolds everybody about their loyalty as well. And then Chris feeling obligated to show up, even in the hospital, was just a really, really good example of why you do not have time freedom in this at all. And then at the end of it all, as you always hear, they list off a whole bunch of more live streams that you have to go to that day. We have this person at this time, this person at this time. Oh, yeah, and then there's this. Oh, yeah, and then our trivia, you know. It's almost so many that they have trouble keeping track of them all. Right? And so when you're doing that and you have this false sense of obligation to something like this that is essentially just wasting your time and money, unfortunately, you're stopping yourself from actually getting real time freedom. And for doing these things that you look forward to when you have your time freedom. It's an illusion that you're going to get time freedom from these, and especially from Onpassive right now. Because again, for a lot of people, time freedom also equates to financial freedom. Right? You got to pay your rent. Got to pay your bills. And with all of this pay merchant bullshit and everything happening with OConnect and whatever else Ash feels like coming up with in future, right? You're not going to have financial freedom here. Not for a long time. See, the reason why Ash has to make his own merchant, if you will, is because of the lawsuit and the fact that most of the merchants are probably aware, and all financial institutions are probably aware, that he's being investigated. There'd be a red flag on him. So he's having trouble using one. Even if he finds one for a little bit, as soon as they basically start the business with him and like money starts to move, all of a sudden they get a red flag. Even if they were in another country, something would probably pop up for them eventually. So then they say, yeah, we don't want to do business with you anymore. You pop up as a scam. And we can't be associated with that. Even the scam companies don't want to be associated with him, probably. You know, even the iffy ones, right? So this whole thing is not at all what it claims it was supposed to be, especially by now. At the beginning of this, I highly doubt that back in like 2019 and 2020, the very beginning of this, that people thought that in 5 years from then, that they would still be waiting for a payment. Right? But that's what's happening. And again, Ash had 5 years to work this out. And the fact that he didn't do shit, really, at all. In fact, he didn't do anything for the last 5 years to figure this stuff out, should be a red flag. Because I do strongly believe that he never had it planned from the beginning to pay people. Or even have a real working product until the SEC came about. And then it was like oh shit, we got to scramble to get as much done as we can get done before this lawsuit. So if anything, you guys should really be thanking me and the Recovering Hunbot and the SEC. Because if it wasn't for all of us, Ash wouldn't be trying to move his ass right now to get your products to you and trying to get something going to at least make it appear like he's trying to pay you. Honest thing. You're welcome. So much for the passive part of Onpassive. And that's the funny thing, is that it's in the name for a reason. It was supposed to be all about your passive income. Because you don't have to do anything for it. Except for go to a webinar at 11 a.m. and then another one at noon and then another one at 2 and another one at 5. Then you got that 9 o'clock one and then the one at midnight. We might have trivia tonight at 7, by the way. Right? And that's the thing, is that passive income is usually income that is coming in that you don't have to work for or think about. And this thing's called Onpassive for your passive income, but then you have to be plugged in and you have to be worried that the CEO is going to tell you that you're going to get paid by Christmas and then nothing will happen for another at least 2 months after that. That's a problem. That's not very passive, if you ask me. Chris said, someone said Mike Ellis got a job again. Did he quit his job back in September because he thought he was finally going to make money? Then reality set in and he had to go back. I'm not really sure. I do know that, though, that he has not been as active as usual because he has probably been working. Right? And it's like, well, why should he go and work at his job? This thing promises them generational wealth. And has for 5 years. Quit your 9 to 5, right? Takara says, I called all of my banks warning them of Onpassive. So maybe this worked. It could have. It could have, but the SEC probably also did something to put a warning on them. Ash still hasn't moved his ass after 8 months. He still does not have something that they can sell and make money. No, because technically we're also now redoing the O Connect. So, like, it's really not done either as of right now, right? On pass gas. I mean, that's all they're doing right now, right? Marty's just sitting around being farty. Being farty Marty. Excuse me. But yeah. I don't really like reacting to people that are in the hospital. Doesn't really feel the greatest. I'm not a big fan of showcasing people in the hospital on my streams. I'm just not. But I felt like it was important to show it and important to discuss time freedom and the lies of it in this scam. And like I said, that live stream that we just watched was the best example. I couldn't have asked for a better example to use to show you guys kind of Chris feeling obligated to come on to that extent. And then, like I said, we even got Marty talking about the loyalty to Ash at the beginning and your obligation to Onpassive and putting all of that on all of the O founders. So I hope that you guys had some fun here. Went a little bit longer than I thought we were going to, but hey, it was worth it. It always is. Fart box. Are we talking about Foodie? No, she's the poop girl. I don't know if they're into farts. Isn't that something else? I don't know. I'm not all into the fetish stuff. I have no clue. Don't ask me about fetishes, okay? I don't know a thing. I only found out what Queen of Spade meant after I logged on here. I have no clue about any of that stuff. I don't know. I don't know anything about DOMs and subs. I really don't know much about any of that stuff. I just do what I do with my husband and keep it in the bedroom, and that's all you need to know. But, though the fart box is her apartment, is it? See, I don't watch Foodie Beauty. I don't like the reactor. We don't get along. I don't get along with the people that cover her too often. I'm not a fan of Hater Nation and Haterverse. They liked Tragic and Negs and RSN, so I'd rather just stay away. I'm good, thank you. I learned all that already in 2019. We don't need to go through that again. That ends. So, going forward, I think I am going to try my best to react to the PNG stream on Monday. A lot of you guys really wanted me to react to a specific one of those. And so I have it on my list here because whenever you guys request something of me, I do add it to a little list. I say, oh, they want to hear from me about that. All right, I'll put it on a list. And it's definitely on the list. So we'll try to do that on Monday. I should be good this Monday. I shouldn't have anything going on until Tuesday or Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm going to see if I can do a stream on Friday, but I'm not going to promise anything. I might have to do a video release instead because I also have like 10 videos that I'm working on, like slowly and trying to get out at time. So I might have to get one of those done and out on Friday instead. So I don't know if we'll be talking about Onpassive again until Monday. But I had a lot of fun as always. And I hope that you guys at least learned something about time freedom and how it sucks in MLMs and does not exist. And I hope that this was a very good example and that you guys saw what I was doing here and that you're not taking it as me just making fun of somebody for being in the hospital because that's not what it is. But I know for a fact that there's going to be like 10 people in the next week all doing streams about me saying that that's what it is. That's not what it was. I promise you. There was a good reason for it. But I want to thank all of you fabulous, beautiful people for being here and for watching and for hanging in with me. I always appreciate how you guys can hang in with me for like 3 or 4 hours of these. I love all of you. And I hope that no matter where you are or what you're doing, that you have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your night. And like always, tomorrow we are going to be streaming about the Love Has Won 5D Full Disclosure Cult, because it is Thursday. It should be about, I think it's at 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon. And we are going to actually be watching Aurora doing her most recent video, which was released within the last couple weeks. So you're not going to want to miss that one. Make sure you make it to that one. And then next week, we're going to be hearing from Amy Carlson's ex-husband. So you're not going to miss that one either. And like always, guys, don't worry. I will play the In It to Win It song for all of you, because I know how much you love it at the end of these streams. Hopefully, I'll see you guys soon. Mwah. Bye!